far, the Bills, surprisingly, having moved to a tie atop the AFC East, 4 wins, 1 loss. We have a windy day in Rich Stadium with winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Unquestionably, that will affect the playing of this game in otherwise perfect football conditions. And hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley, along with the fabulous Bobby G, Bob Golic. And Bob, the Bills have always relied on Thurman Thomas ever since he's been here. Now with Andre Reed out at wide receiver, they'll be looking to Thomas more than ever.
Right, Andre Reed out. The wind conditions being what they are right now, Thurman Thomas is the guy they're going to have to go to, especially after he got off last week against the Jets for 133 yards.
And the last 14 times Thomas has reached 100 yards, the Bills have won the game. Bad news for the Seahawks, who in their 3 losses have had great difficulty stopping the run.
Yeah, they've had 3 running backs that have really caused them problems. Greg Hill in Kansas City, Natron Means in San Diego, and Harvey Williams with the Oakland Raiders, all over 100 yards in Seattle Seahawks losses.
So to help his defense against the run, Coach Dennis Erickson today benches a highly regarded second-year defensive tackle to go with a veteran who's playing his 200th NFL game.
Well, they had brought in Sam Adams to try and balance that defense, take some heat off of Cortez Kennedy, but he's just not developing the way they'd hoped. So they bench him. They bring up Joe Nash, who, well, they didn't just bench him, Sam Adams, for that reason. They brought Joe Nash as a starter on Thursday, his 35th birthday, as a kind of a reward for years of service to the Seattle Seahawks.
Erickson with a rookie head coaching record of 2-3 so far. When the Seahawks run the ball, they win. When they don't, they lose. And Marv Levy last week against the Jets became the 14th coach in NFL history to win 100 games with a single franchise, as this team got him his 100th Buffalo head coaching win. Steve Christie will be kicking the football away for the Bills to start the game. And Corey Harris, number 30, along with Steve Broussard, number 31. Deep for Seattle, it is Broussard who waits in the deeper position near the goal line. Kick is short, taken by Max Strong, number 38. The reserve fullback is across the 35, across the 40, an excellent return by Strong as he gets to the 44-yard line before Marlon Kerner, the rookie nickelback for the Bills, pushes him out of bounds. After the 30-yard kickoff return, Seattle will start with Matt Joyce still starting as a rookie at guard, and Howard Ballard coming back to Buffalo, where he earned Pro Bowl honors before leaving as a free agent to go with the Seahawks. 2 rookies have starred early for the Seattle backs and receivers when they go to a 3-wide receiver formation. Rob Thomas comes onto the field, and the fullback, Steve Smith, will go off. On first down, from all the way out at the 45-yard line, Rick Meyer calls the signals for the Seahawks. The give is to Chris Warren, and the mainstay running back for Seattle has a gain of about 4 before Sam Rogers made the stop. There's a look at the front 3 and linebackers. Buffalo still playing the 3-4 scheme, one of the few teams left in the league who use it at all. Tremendous contribution already from Bryce Paup, 5 sacks in the early season. Kurt Schultz has 3 interceptions at free safety in his first year starting for the Bills. And when they go to 6 defensive backs, Kerner and Evans, both relatively inexperienced players, come onto the field. After a gain of 4 on first down, it's second down 6. Warren again with the football, and a pretty good hole in the middle of the line for Warren. Will be short of a first down as he stopped in Bills territory at the 47 by Rogers and Bennett.
Well, you know, Chris Warren has been the guy who's been kind of underrated as a running back. 1,500 yards last year, but this year they wanted to kind of tone down his number of snaps. He took about 90% of the snaps last year. They wanted to give him a little bit of break. They were going to cut back in his running and get him more involved in the passing game. Well, they seem to, in the last couple of games, go back to Chris Warren as a running back, try and get that offense started again.
They had him open on a slant and go early against Oakland last week. Didn't get him the ball. Coach Erickson says one of these times we're going to break in for a big play. Double tight ends on third down, a long 1 or a short 2. Meyer throws in the flat. Overthrown. It looks as though he was trying to get it to the tight end, Christian Fourier, or perhaps the fullback, Steve Smith. There were 2 receivers in the area.
Well, you got to wonder, even now with the 40-mile-an-hour winds gusting, how that's going to affect even the short game and trying to drop that ball off softly against the wind to these receivers.
And after running the ball for 8 yards, going twice with Warren on first and second down, they elected to throw on third. Bill Brooks is deep at the 10-yard line for the Bills as Rick Tootin, one of the better punters in the AFC, last year's Pro Bowl punter, gets ready to kick it away. Good snap from Trey Junkin. This one will land near the goal line, bounces straight up, and the Seahawks will not get a chance to down it prior to its going into the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offensive line, rookie Reuben Brown has done a great job at offensive guard. Corey Lucci gets his first career start at right tackle today, replacing Glenn Parker, injured a week ago against the Jets. Backs and receivers, you'll see Derek Holmes move over to the running back spot to spell Thomas from time to time. When Buffalo goes to the K-gun, the explosive three-wide receiver formation, rookie Justin Armour from Stanford comes onto the field, along with Brooks and Copeland at the wide-out spots. Bills were very tough on the Jets with their no-huddle formation. Seahawks had trouble against the Raiders' no-huddle a week ago. On first down, Kelly wants to throw, complete over the middle to number 81, Justin Armour, and the rookie has first down yardage across the 35 to the 36 before Corey Harris makes the stop. You look at the Seattle front four and linebackers. Cortez Kennedy remains the main man there. Winston Moss calls the signals from his outside linebacker spot. Seattle's defensive secondary, and they go to 7 defensive backs on third and long, bringing Robinson, Jones, and Brown onto the field. On first down, Thurman Thomas is going to be dropped for a loss as number 59, Tyrone Stowe, got across from his middle linebacker position. Winston Moss had done a good job of closing it down from the outside.
Well, the Seattle Seahawks got a taste of the no-huddle last week against the Oakland Raiders, but it was a much different no-huddle. They took a little bit more time. They took time to call the plays. They're going to get a much quicker rhythm here today with the Buffalo Bills.
Second down, 12. Kelly fires incomplete in the flat intended for Thomas, and Kelly was hit by Winston Moss as the play ensued.
Well, they came with a blitz that time, figuring they're gonna put some heat on it. You're gonna see Sinclair right here getting in and making the hit on Kelly as he gets the ball off and causing the bad throw.
There's a look at Moss, 6'3", 245-pound, 9-year veteran out of Miami, the former Raider, who actually had an altercation a year ago with Seattle offensive tackle Ray Roberts and is now a Roberts teammate. On third down long, Kelly is going to be wrapped up. He releases the football, but Cortez Kennedy was the man who got past his blocker and enveloped Jim Kelly before he could release.
Now, Cortez Kennedy is a guy who this week was listed on one of the top 10 overrated players, but I tell you what, he is still getting off. Watch here, just physically making that move around the outside to come in and get a hit on Jim Kelly. Jim, being one of the stronger quarterbacks in the league, still able to get the ball off before being brought down.
Chris Moore is on to kick it away for the Bills. Joey Galloway, lightning in a bottle, deep to receive for the Seahawks at the 20-yard line. Moore is a hang-time guy. This one is high, relatively short, and going out of bounds at the Seattle 37-yard line, make it the 32-yard line of Seattle, a 35-yard punt. The Seahawks will have it when we come back. Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Each team has had one possession, and we're tied up at 0 in the first quarter, 12 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Seahawks now getting the football for the second time at their own 32-yard line. Seahawks on their opening series got 8 yards running the football from Chris Warren, then elected to throw on third and short. First down here, Meyer gives to Warren again. Warren again with the middle of the offensive line, trying to gouge out some distance for him, going against nose tackle Ted Washington. Warren has a gain of a couple. It'll be second down 8 with the football at the 34. 3 carries for 11 yards so far today for Chris Warren. When he goes over 100, Bob, they win the game.
Like I said early on, they wanted to get him more into the passing game, but when those early games didn't go the way they wanted them to, they went back to the guy who gets him the yardage.
Second down 8. After a pickup of about 3, number 97 Cornelius Bennett there to make the play. Bennett shuffled again to inside linebacker after the loss of Mark Maddox. And there's a good look at House Ballard, who was blocking on the play in front of Warren.
It was a nice matchup. You're going to see Ballard, the right guard tackle there, pulling around on the outside, leading the way, and he's going to hook up with an old buddy, Cornelius Bennett. But Bennett forcing a nice corner, a nice edge on the sideline, using the sidelines to his advantage.
3 makes it third down 5 with the football at the 37. They pitch again to Warren, and this time with James Atkins leading in front, Warren is going to have first down yardage for the Seahawks before Thomas Smith, number 28, knocks him out of bounds from the cornerback position.
Oh, basically the same play the other way. They're just you get Atkins pulling on this time. Sealing, the wide receiver sealing. You're going to see Atkins pulling with Warren right behind him. Look at nice lead. Cornelius Bennett and Bruce Smith, all those guys pursuing, but a great momentum build up here by Seattle Seahawks.
They did a good job of setting up the crackback block by Rob Thomas, the wide receiver, and that was the first stage of opening things up for Warren. On first down 10, Warren again getting the football, and this time no gain against Bryce Paup and Bruce Smith.
Well, we've talked about Bryce before. We're going to talk about him all day. He's the guy that they brought in to really balance off that defense. First of all, to give them a little bit more pass rush on the other side, on the tight end side, to help Bruce Smith a little bit. But there you see him coming in, and a nice job on the edge, coming in, making a play in the backfield in the run game.
There was considerable debate as to whether the Bills had made a good deal spending big money on Paup. Some people feeling it was playing behind Reggie White at Green Bay that made him effective, but he's proven himself here. Second down, long yardage. Warren again with the football and fighting for about 3 yards before Kurt Schultz makes the tackle. And here's a look at the key acquisitions for the defense, starting with the defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips.
Then we see Bryce Paup, Jim Jeffcoat, a couple more guys that they brought in to try and shore up that defensive line and get a little bit of pass rush.
Ted Washington, the nose tackle, has been tremendous against the run so far. Phillips said, I had him in Denver. I knew he'd do the job for us. Now Paup looking to make penetration on third down long. Bennett steps up and then moves back from the line. Paup is in front of Meyer as he releases to Warren. He's going to be dumped well short of the first down. The ball was dead. There is no fumble, but Cornelius Bennett, number 97, is there to block off Warren from an attempted first down.
Great awareness by Cornelius Bennett, staying right in the middle of the field there. All the defensive linemen getting upfield, feeling, hey, I got a great rush going. Uh-oh, it's a middle screen. They drop the ball off to Warren in the middle. Cornelius Bennett right there to make the play.
Rick Tootin deep to kick it away for the second time for Seattle. Jeff Burris, second-year cornerback out of Notre Dame, and there's a fumbled snap. Tootin gets it away low and gets a beneficial roll inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. So the Seahawks get away with a near disaster. Ronnie Harris downfield to down it. It'll be called a 37-yard punt. There's a flag down, and we'll let you know what the penalty was. As you see Tootin recovering the ball and getting it away. Referee Tom White.
Eligible lineman downfield on the kicking team. Number 57 and 85, 5 yards, fourth down.
Well, that's going to happen a number of times when you've got a little bit of a fumble in the back as the punter. You're going to one of the things that the offensive lineman can't do is get downfield before the ball's been punted. Now, fumbling the ball around back there, a lot of these linemen don't know what's happening, so they're just going to time it up, give it kind of good 2 or 3 count, and go downfield.
So Tootin will try it again with the line of scrimmage moving back 5 yards. This one is another roller. And the Seahawks get about a 5-yard advantage out of it, as this time it goes out between the 11 and the 12. So the Bills see the penalty wind up benefiting the Seahawks. We'll be back.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by the all-new Ford Taurus, a look you've never seen from a name you know well. By Taco Bell, tacos, burritos, nachos, and a whole lot more. By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. And by Epson. For brilliant photo quality color printing, you've got to see it in Epson color.
Buffalo Bills starting from the 12-yard line after a 47-yard Rick Tootin punt on first down. The pass is complete to Bill Brooks. And the man standing in for Andre Reed today has a 14-yard gain out to the 26-yard line. Carlton Gray made the stop.
Jim, when they lose Andre Reed, they lose their deep speed threat. Bill Brooks is the guy who's always been a very consistent possession guy who's going to get a lot of balls thrown to him today.
It's down 10 from the 26. Thurman Thomas with the football. And Thomas lost yardage on his first carry of the day. Is wrapped up on this one. Michael Sinclair and Terry Wooden both there. The Seahawks expecting the Bills to try to run the ball early against them.
Yeah, they told us yesterday. They said they're going to come out. Thurman Thomas has always been a big part of their run game. He's going to be a big part of it today.
When a team's had as much difficulty stopping the run as the Seahawks have.
Number 94, lined up in the neutral zone.
That's a flag against Antonio Edwards. Edwards returning to action today after having lost several weeks to injury. And that's a 5-yard walk-off against the Seahawks that nullifies the great defensive play they made against Thomas. So 1st and 5. Kelly throws complete to tight end Lonnie Johnson. Terry Wooden, a linebacker from Syracuse, is there to make the stop.
Well, Jim Kelly misses Pete Metzelaars. He was a guy that he really had a good rapport with. Great timing as a receiver-quarterback combination. But he knows Lonnie is a great tight end. And one addition he has is he can stretch a defense if he has to.
They gain 4 on the first down play. They have 2nd and 1. And Thomas is going to have first down yardage near the 40-yard line before Winston Moss is able to wrap him up and bring him down, and Tyrone Stowe was also there.
Well, they got a couple of young guys in that Buffalo Bill offensive line at guard, a rookie at one guard, a second-year guy at the other guard. But the one mainstay they have, Ken Hall, who I played against a number of years, not a huge guy like you're seeing see these days. But I'll tell you what, great leverage and good power in the legs.
They saw a close-up of the right tackle, Corey Lucci, who's getting his first start today with Glenn Parker out. Kelly calling this play at the line of scrimmage. Throws completing the flat to number 85, Russell Copeland. Copeland's first catch of the day, working against Carlton Gray. Short of the first down, it'll be 2nd down and about 3.
Well, the one thing, they had this problem last week against Oakland, the quick release by the quarterback, dumping the ball off early. Coach Erickson said, hey, if we're not getting that to him with the 4 guys up front, we're going to have to start blitzing people.
On 2nd and 3, Thomas again gets the call. He'll have first down yardage once again as he fights his way across midfield into Seattle territory. Michael Sinclair making the stop for the Seahawks.
Now you're going to see a pull here by Ostrowski right here, coming around and making a nice block on Williams, also taking out the backside pursuit from Winston Moss, opening it up to Thurman Thomas to make a nice game.
The numbers on Thomas for the season. Play fake to Thomas here. Kelly throws in the flat, complete to Lonnie Johnson. And Johnson is taken out of bounds by Winston Moss after a gain of about 5.
Well, the fact that they don't have a long game with Andre Reed doesn't seem to be affecting them. They've gone out very nicely to the short game to just about all the receivers so far.
Kelly's used Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, Russell Copeland, Justin Armour, Bill Brooks, already all of them with receptions in the game. 2nd down 6. And Thomas is pounding down near the 40-yard line. Tyrone Stowe again with the tackle. But an amazing leg drive, 198-pound Thurman Thomas still has in his 8th year in the NFL.
Well, the one thing, he really is, and a lot of people felt that perhaps that was a part of his game that was gone, that he no longer had the strength or the power in his legs to make the cuts and to make the big breaks up the middle. But he's showing us different here today so far.
On 3rd and 1, Thomas is met at the line of scrimmage as Terry Wooden came flying up to try to make the play. And Thurman bounced to the inside looking for the first down marker. And got it. Inside the Seattle 39-yard line, another K-gun first down as Kelly and the offense continue moving for the Bills. Here's a look at Andre Reed. Kutztown State's most famous alumnus in the NFL. Kelly on first down wants to go deep, and it's off the hands of Brooks as he tried to make an acrobatic catch against Carlton Gray.
What a great attempt to get in this. Watch Brooks working against Gray. He's going to go up there and just about one-handed. Gray getting at the last second to kind of break it up, but he is the guy that they're going to have to go to. He'll be the next guy in line to be working the deep stuff for the Buffalo Bills.
Kelly working mostly short, 5 of 8 so far for 43 yards. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Bills with 2nd down 10 now at the 38-yard line of Seattle. Kelly's throw is there in time and caught 25, Robert Blackman made the stop for the Seahawks. Blackman missed the game against the Raiders last week with a hamstring injury, returns to the lineup today.
Raphael Robinson stepped in for him and did a pretty good job last week for him, but Blackman's a guy who always comes in and makes a lot of big plays. They're expecting him to do it today.
One of the surest tacklers among strong safeties in the NFL. Pickup on the play was 6. It's third down 4. Kelly throws across the middle, and it's dropped by Lonnie Johnson. Terry Wooden was there with him, and the throw was a little bit behind Lonnie Johnson.
Well, Terry Wooden has been spending a lot of time this offseason working and in preseason working in the one-on-one pass rush. Here they got him matched up on man-to-man coverage, making a nice play. But the point being, the ball was thrown a little bit behind. Had it been thrown and led correctly, could have been a big game.
Sixth-year kicker Steve Christie made 5 field goals a week ago against the Jets. This one, 50 yards in a swirling wind. Momentarily calm conditions for Christie. He aims it for the right upright and can't get it to slide inside. No hook on that one as it slipped outside the right upright, and it remains 0-0.
Well, here we see James Atkins, who's been playing at the left tackle, taking over for the early in the season injured Ray Roberts. Made it very difficult for Roberts to get back in the lineup, but as you see now, Roberts is in.
On first down, Warren is able to get a block on the blitzing Bryce Paup, but Meyer is unable to get the football away, and he'll slip across the 40 for a short gain. It'll be second and long.
But you see Roberts right in here, working for the first time, working up against Bruce Smith, attacking him and popping him on the line of scrimmage. But hey, you can't fool Bruce Smith with that kind of move. He's got too much flexibility, too much body awareness. Gets right past Ray Roberts.
Smith and Paup working together on that play, and now a Seattle player is momentarily shaken up.
Actually, I think it's one of the referees.
Aha, so Kevin Mawai has gotten up, and now it's an official who is down, and we'll wait to see what his condition is when we return. We bring it back with a look at umpire Jim Duke, official number 74 there, who's testing his legs and continuing to clear the cobwebs after having gotten belted to the turf by Kevin Mawai on the last play. And you see a member of the Bills training staff there to be sure that Duke is going to be okay before the game goes on.
Yeah, Kevin Mawai made a nice block on Ted Washington, and both bodies flew into the umpire, knocking him to the ground. Pretty much didn't move after he hit the ground.
Mawai with an inadvertent hit on the umpire, something that some of the Raiders might have liked to have gotten after an umpire figured into the play in which James Hasty took an interception back in overtime to beat the Raiders for the Chiefs. It's only a loss. Second down, 10 yards to go after what was scored a sack on first down. Warren with the football for the Seahawks, and Chris moves forward for a gain of about 4. It'll be third down when we come back here, but first let's go to New York and check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the Chiefs with a 3-0 lead until Dave Meggett scores his first touchdown as a Patriot, 16 yards, only the 4th New England touchdown of the season. The extra point has New England on top of Kansas City 7-3 in the first, Jim.
So a rare early lead for the Patriots in this season of their discontent. Third down here for the Seahawks. Quick slant inside to Brian Blades. Cornelius Bennett makes the stop, and the dependable Blades has a first down for Seattle inside the Buffalo 45.
Well, as the Seattle Seahawks have struggled to get their version of the West Coast offense going, Joey Galloway has been the long guy, but Brian Blades has been a great possession guy, and especially on this play. The quick slant, getting the ball to him, letting him pick up the 5-10 yards.
80-plus catches a year ago as Blades again broke the Seattle single-season receiving record. First down, 10 to go here. And Meyer gives again to Chris Warren, and Warren, rapidly moving in on double figures in carries today, has his longest rip before Henry Jones and Kurt Schultz are able to bring him down.
Well, in this 3-4 defense, a lot of times they're playing a 2-gap where you're grabbing onto your man and trying to make a reaction off him. What happens, one of the bad things there is that you can give away the line of scrimmage. There you saw the Seattle offensive line pretty much controlling that defensive line of scrimmage.
They called a gain of 9, second down 1. Chris Warren, 9 carries for 34 yards already in the game. 2:24 to go in the first period. Meyer changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Throws to Galloway. And the former Ohio State star is run out of bounds by Jeff Burris, but picks up a first down for Seattle inside the Buffalo 30.
Joey Galloway has been the surprise of the year for them. I mean, they obviously expect something out of a guy as talented as he, but he has really come on much faster than they'd even hoped. He has become the star long ball catcher for this team.
Galloway had a touchdown catch against the Raiders a week ago. Now on first down 10 inside the 30. Warren finds a hole and gets it inside the 25 to the 24 before Sam Rogers and reserve linebacker Monty Brown are there to make the stop.
You know, again, you're talking about a defense in a 3-4 defense that you've got three guys in the line of scrimmage, but one of the most important things in that is to get your linebackers to fill. With only three guys on the line of scrimmage in the middle, there's a lot of open holes. These linebackers have to get up and make the hit.
Second down 5 at the 24. Inside 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Blades in motion. Burris going with him. Warren again. And he gets it close to the 21 before Washington and Hansen make the stop. And the clock should run down on the first quarter on this one. The middle of the Seattle offensive line. Joyce, Sweeney, and Mawai doing a good job in front of Chris Warren on this drive.
And that's what it's been so far. Chris Warren picking up a lot of yardage early in this game.
That'll be the end of the first quarter as the Seahawks are still scoreless but threatening against the Bills. One year ago, Chris Warren led the AFC in rushing, and for the Seahawks to succeed Bob Golic, he must run the clock and the ball.
That's exactly right. And they said, hey, they wanted to get him more out of it, less snaps as a runner, more as a receiver. But hey, when you got something that works, they found out they got to go back to it.
Third down, 3 yards to go. They give to Warren, and Warren running behind. Steve Smith leans toward the chain. He needed to get it to the 19-yard line to pick up the first down. Ted Washington made the stop for the Bills, but the chains are moving as Warren has again done the job.
And the one thing you're seeing also is that this offensive line up front is really making some nice moves. You're seeing a double there on Bruce Smith, who spins out of it late, but still that offensive line is gaining a lot of confidence in knowing that they're opening up some holes for Chris Warren. So the Chris Warren and the offensive line working together to get that run game going.
Veteran center Jim Sweeney picked up from the Jets in the offseason, got just enough of a lean on Washington there to help Warren to the first down. Now they give to Galloway on the reverse, and Galloway cuts back inside, but no room there as he gets only to the 16-yard line. You don't get away from Cornelius Bennett too often with misdirection.
No, and also the fact that they've used Joey Galloway in reverses a number of times this year. It's not like it's really going to be anything they're going to surprise. And you can see him taking the handoff there. The Buffalo Bills reacting well to get back everybody in position, but Cornelius Bennett, the one coming up aggressively to make the hit.
Second down, 9 yards to go. The football at the 16. Warren. It's a fake to Warren. Meyer gets out of the pocket, throws to Smith, and Smith works along the sideline down to the 1-yard line. Did Meyer go past the line of scrimmage? No flag. 15-yard gain, first and goal for Seattle.
Well, nice little bootleg by Meyer. It comes out and looks up to an wide open Steve Smith. I'll tell you what, when he played with the LA Raiders, he was a great receiver. They like to use him a lot out in the flat, so you know that guy's got good hands.
So they call it first and goal at the 1. And you see the numbers on the Bills when opponents are inside the 20. Only 25% of the time have they scored touchdowns. But now the Seahawks threaten that, and a tremendous play on first down by Bennett, who got across along with Henry Jones to belt Chris Warren for a loss.
Well, I told you that the linebackers needed to fill. You're going to see Bennett right here just attacking the line of scrimmage, seeing the open hole, filling very quickly. Now, he'd rather be playing that outside, but when he saw the work that Bryce Popp and the talent that he brought to this team on the outside, he said, hey, all right, I'll go inside. I'll play the inside backer, and he's playing it very, very well.
After the loss of 2, it's second down goal from the 3-yard line. They try Warren again in the same hole, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. 12:43 to go before halftime. And the Seattle Seahawks have a lead over the Buffalo Bills. Step one toward the possible upset.
And there's a difference this time. Fullback Steve Smith blocking on Cornelius Bennett with a great shot right under the chin, opening up that hole for Chris Warren.
Steve Smith, a former teammate of yours with the Raiders, he is one of the fiercest goal line blockers in the league.
Well, he loves to hit people. Nice guy off the field, but he loves to hit.
Todd Peterson on to add the point after touchdown for the Seahawks. He knocks it through. So with 12:43 to go before halftime, Seattle has jumped to a 7-0 lead over Buffalo.
Cornelius Bennett lined up right here, gonna step up and fill in the hole. But the one they didn't expect, Steve Smith with a great shot right under the chin. Chris Warren working against Bruce Smith, pulling him with him into the end zone.
So with the Seahawks leading 7-0, Todd Peterson kicks it away, and it's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. Bills will start from their 20 Friday night. NBC kicks off its new Friday lineup. The season premiere of Unsolved Mysteries looks into the curse behind the death of actor Brandon Lee. That'll be followed by an all-new Dateline and the season premiere of the acclaimed drama series Homicide. That's NBC Friday. Unsolved Mysteries, Dateline, NBC, Homicide. Robert Stack, of course, here to join us for yet another season. And there's a look at Bennett along the sideline as he ponders that pop from Smith. First down 10 now for Jim Kelly and company at the 20-yard line. Kelly has been working short, and this one is almost picked off. It went in and out of the hands of Brent Williams, number 93 to defensive end, and then Cortez Kennedy had a shot and couldn't hold on. Kelly 6 of 11 now for 49 yards in the game.
Well, one of the things that you have to do with the defense, if you can't get to the quarterback because of the quick drop, quick throw, see Williams there going up and getting his hands on. If you can't get into the quarterback's face, you've got to get the hands up.
Bills try their reverse. It's almost snuffed for a 10-yard loss. Now Brooks gets away and is finally met and dropped by the dependable Terry Wooden. Winston Moss had a shot at making it a 10-yard loss. Instead, Terry Wooden nailed Brooks for about a 5-yard loss.
You know, and they love Winston Moss. He has really brought up the intensity of this team. He came in there and really paid attention that he had to look for that reverse, saw it, snuffed it out, and he was the guy that broke that up.
Call it a loss of 4. It's 14 yards to go on third down, and Kelly is going to be sacked inside the 10. Number 96, Cortez Kennedy got there, and Brent Williams followed closely behind him.
Well, I guess that Cortez read some of those articles that they were talking about him, saying that he was one of the top, number 5 in the top 10 of most overrated defensive linemen, but he is just dominating up front. His size and his power and his leverage, his ability to work against these offensive linemen clears him so many times up there. They double team him, they triple team him, but they can't stop the guy.
So Chris Moore now must kick from deep in his end zone. Joey Galloway waits inside the 50-yard line. Chance for Galloway to get something done, but he lets it roll. Steve Tasker is there as always, waiting to down it for the Bills, and the man who over the past decade has been the best special teams player in the league downs it there. The Seahawks will have it in Buffalo territory.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Toyota Camry, the gold standard. By Subway, now that's a sandwich. By Smooth Bush Beer, an easy drink in Bush Light. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
Forge your dreams. Need to provide the catalyst.
Gray cloud cover over Rich Stadium now as the Buffalo Bills trail 7-0. Jim Kelly and company on the sideline as the Bills defense gets ready to go against the Seattle offense with 11:42 to go before halftime, and the Seahawks in great shape starting at the Buffalo 48-yard line. A penalty against the Bills on the punt was declined by the Seahawks, who like this field position and want to stick with it. First down, 2 tight ends in the game as Galloway goes in motion. The give is to Warren, and Warren has a small hole before Bennett and Paup combine to make the tackle. 15th carry of the game already for Chris Warren, and Seattle has had a field position advantage as well.
Well, that's something that they really could use. They've had some problems in the past getting these drives going and maintaining these drives. You get good field position to start it off. It gives you a little confidence to get that drive going.
Again, 2 tight ends, Crumpler and Fourier, both in the game. Meyer fakes to Warren this time, wants Galloway deep, and it's picked off. Number 24, Kurt Schultz, the fourth-year veteran from Eastern Washington and Washington State. Kurt Schultz has his fourth interception of the year.
Well, Jim, we've seen Rick Meyer do this before, throwing straight up the field to Galloway between coverage. We saw it against San Diego, and the same result. The guy's getting in there, making the throw. I think the wind conditions also hampering the throw a little bit, but Rick Meyer throwing deep to Galloway into double coverage. Not a good throw at all.
And cornerback Thomas Smith says, Kurt, why'd you take the ball away from me? That was going to be my pick. I had the ball ready to come into my hands, Kurt. But Schultz got there first for his fourth interception of the year. First year starting at free safety and doing great. Kelly gives on first down to Thurman Thomas, and Thomas has a gain of 5 out to the 20 before Tez. Number 96, Cortez Kennedy, makes the stop.
We talked earlier about how the Buffalo Bills were going to want to get Thurman Thomas going, get him involved. He has done something, but they really haven't been able to get any kind of momentum, any kind of a rhythm with him in the game.
Bills have another exciting runner, rookie Derek Holmes, who's now in the game at fullback, playing in front of Thomas. And Holmes throws a block as Thomas has the ball on second down. Brent Williams got there first. Robert Blackman followed him as they limited Thomas to a gain of about 1.5 yards.
Well, great discipline by the Seattle defense in maintaining that backside.
Flag down.
Holding, number 72, 10 yards, second down.
Rookie tackle Corey Lucci, second-year player out of South Carolina, starting in place of Glenn Parker, gets his first major penalty for the Bills today.
Well, they know with Thurman Thomas that he is an explosive guy, but he also likes to cut back. So it's very important for that defense to be very patient on the backside of the play. Brent Williams was. Lucci obviously trying to gain a little bit of an advantage.
On second down 15, the give is to Derek Holmes. And the rookie from Portland State is across the 15 before Eugene Robinson belts him to the turf.
Great shot by Eugene Robinson. Man, this guy is a hitter. Watch Cortez, though, right here attacking. Man, there's a guy who is just dominating a line of scrimmage. Grabbed about 3 guys. Unfortunately, the one he didn't get was the ball carrier.
It was the Sporting News' NFL editor, Bob Glauber, who listed Tez, number 5, among the 10 most overrated players in the league. New incentive for Kennedy as he plays this week. Flags down, and Kelly, with the free down, is unable to get the football out of there as Michael Sinclair was on top of him. Now we'll wait to see against whom the penalty goes.
Well, Jim, very similar to what happened with Bruce Smith and Boomer Esiason last week. Jump on offsides, and the offense didn't block all the way through. Derek Holmes kind of pulling up a little bit, allowing the defender to hit Jim Kelly.
Bills trying to get out of the shadow of their goal line
Offsides,
here.
number 70, defense, 5 yards, third down.
And that's helpful because it's going to turn 3rd and 8 into 3rd and 3.
Right there, Sinclair getting off. But watch here. Holmes just kind of like halfway goes through it, figure he's offside. That kind of move got Boomer Esiason knocked out last week. Got Jim Kelly hit pretty well this week.
Brooks in motion, now goes back the other way. Kelly looking to the tight end, Lonnie Johnson, and Johnson has a first down across the 30 to about the 32 before Brent Williams made the stop. An 11-yard pickup, Kelly to Lonnie Johnson.
Well, they told us that they couldn't get it there with the 4. They're going to have to start blitzing people. You're going to see number 55, Winston Moss, blitzing from the right side of your screen, but they picked it up well, opening up some holes in the underneath coverage, and they dumped the ball off.
Thomas again with the football. Has more than 5 before Joe Nash finally rides him down.
Jim, at Kansas City, remember 2 weeks ago, Steve Bono went 76 yards for a touchdown. This one not nearly as long or as spectacular. On 3rd and 1 from the 2-yard line, he scores the Chiefs' 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Bono's 2nd. 3-point lead for Kansas City in the 2nd quarter. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Greg. Back here in Buffalo, the Bills trying to move the ball on the ground as well. This time, Derek Holmes gets the call on 2nd down 2, and he's close to a first down before Tyrone Stowe made the stop.
Well, Tyrone has been the big run stopper of that defense. They like what he does as a linebacker. They obviously want him to pick up the coverage a little bit more, but as a run stopper in the middle, that guy can flat out come up and stone you.
Well, he had close to 150 tackles for the Redskins last year, but Norv Turner and staff weren't terribly interested in keeping him, and Stowe rather bitterly said, well, maybe they wanted 200 tackles from me.
A little sarcasm from a professional.
Holmes got enough for the first down. So the Bills move the chains again as they get it out to their own 43-yard line.
And Jim, this is not something the Seattle Seahawks want to see. The Buffalo Bills gaining some momentum, starting to put a drive together, which they really haven't done so far this game.
Clock running, getting down near 8 minutes before halftime. Kelly pump fakes twice. Finally releases it on the third pump to Lonnie Johnson, and it's another reception for the big tight end, another first down for the Bills, another tackle for Robert Blackman, and a flag is down.
Well, again, they blitzed Winston Moss on the from the bottom side of the screen, and he came in, but with the quickness and the quick rhythm of this passing game, there's no way that Moss is going to get to the quarterback in time to make any kind of an effect.
The flag was inadvertent, no penalty. Kelly takes advantage to hustle the Bills back up, and on first down, Thomas has the ball again. This time, a short gain, if any, as Cortez Kennedy clogged it up.
Cortez Kennedy working on the inside again with Tyrone Stowe. Obviously, they take it as a challenge. They know how hard of a runner Thurman Thomas is. These guys are going to play very tough up front.
Second down 8. Kelly throws in the flat, complete to Russell Copeland, and Copeland dragging Corey Harris for close to 10 yards before they finally wrestle him down. A 14-yard pickup and another first down for the K-Gun offense.
Well, I don't know if he's trying to pull the ball out of his arms or what, but when you get a hold of this guy, you got to bring him down. You got to wrap him up and bring him down hard and fast. Copeland working very strong. 3 guys coming in to make the play, and he's still fighting for yardage.
Bills continuing to rush things along offensively. Holmes again with the football here, and Holmes dives forward for a gain of about 3 before Antonio Edwards and Cortez Kennedy team to stop him. A lot of calls for Tez today.
Well, one of the things that they had to do is you see Sam Adams in the game also. They've had to adjust their defense a little bit, knowing they're not going to have, in some situations, time to bring in other personnel defensively to work against this K-Gun since there is no huddle situation.
Seattle showing blitz on the 10th play of the drive, and it works as number 90 Terry Wooden comes across to stop Thurman Thomas for a loss.
Great play, very aggressive up front. You're going to watch these guys attack, and Wooden is just going to come up and fill, making a great play. But that whole left side of that line is what broke that play down and allowed Wooden to kind of come up, find that gap, and make the play.
When the blitz catches the right hole against the running game, you've got yourself a tackle for loss. On second down, Kelly looks deep and throws complete. Diving for the goal line was Copeland, and it's a touchdown. Brooks, not Copeland. Billy Brooks. 27-yard touchdown catch.
And Jim, he fooled somebody because he was wide open. Let's see if he can make it into the end zone here. Ball making contact with the pylon. He is in. Good call by the referee.
Great effort by Brooks. Antonio Edwards is being helped off for the Seahawks on the opposite side of the field. We told you he was coming back from injury today, but Brooks, the man who stepped into the lineup to replace Andre Reed, has the 27-yard touchdown reception. There goes Edwards. Here's Steve Christie to add the PAT. And with that, we have a tie football game. Buffalo Bills go 80 yards with Jim Kelly to knot it back up at 7 apiece. As we bring it back to Rich Stadium, another look at 10-year veteran Bill Brooks out of Boston University, who just made a 27-yard touchdown catch for Buffalo to tie the game at 7 apiece. There's the man who threw the TD pass, Jim Kelly, on the field. Steve Christie kicks the football away, and Steve Broussard fumbles it and can't find it, and the Bills have got the football inside the Seattle 20-yard line. Reserve linebacker David White, number 51, is the man who got on top of the ball for the Bills.
And Broussard making the play on the ball, just can't handle situation, man, just fall on it.
And interestingly, both the touchdown and the fumbled kickoff proceed from the same personnel deficiency for the Seahawks. They lost former star cornerback Nate Odoms of the Bills, whom they had picked up the preceding year with an injury in preseason. Therefore, Corey Harris, once the league's premier kickoff returner, plays full-time at corner in place of Odoms and doesn't return kickoffs anymore. He was beaten on the touchdown. His kickoff return replacement, Broussard, fumbled the kickoff away. On first down, Thomas is met and dropped by Tyrone Stone.
Well, the key to this defense right now is to know that you can play good, strong ball regardless of what the offense does. You've got to be able to look at that game and say, hey, that we can't do anything about what just happened. All we can do is go out there as a defense, focus on our jobs, and come up and make big plays.
Brett Williams and Michael Sinclair appreciate an importance to the Seahawks now because they've lost Edwards again at defensive end. Kelly throws it out of bounds and away from defensive pressure. It's going to be third down and long for the Buffalo Bills. 3rd and 10.
Well, one of the problems right now is up front. They're getting frustrated. The defensive linemen know that they're not having much luck getting to Jim Kelly, and they're kind of almost accepting that.
Kelly 10 of 16 in the game for 116 yards and a touchdown. Now the ball rolls away from Kent Hull, and Hull says to the umpire, Mr. Duke, you can bring it back to me. On 3rd and 10 from the 17, they reverse to Thomas, and Brett Williams is going to wrap them up. Back at the 26-yard line. Terrific play by the 10-year veteran out of Toledo.
Well, Brett Williams was being blocked by Lonnie Johnson. Also, Ken Hull pulled out from the center position to make a block, but neither one of the guys could stop Williams from getting up and make the play. Watch Hull here pull around. You've got Johnson working against Williams. Neither one of those guys can get a position on Williams. Makes a great play on the reverse.
You beat the double team to make a tackle for a loss, and you look forward to watching that play as a film study the next week. A 43-yard field goal try by Christie is good. So the Bills take advantage of the fumbled kickoff by Seattle to go in front of the football game, 10-7. Jim Lampley and Bob Golic in Buffalo, where Steve Christie's 50-yard field goal has just put the Buffalo Bills on top of the Seattle Seahawks. And Christie kicks it away. And Broussard fumbles it again. And this time is lucky enough to see it go out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Now let's go back to the touchdown which preceded the last fumbled kick.
Now we got Bill Brooks set up here against Corey Harris. Brooks is going to take it to the inside and then break it back out to the flag. You see here, Brooks making the break inside, and right there, Corey Harris buys the move, leaving Brooks wide open for the route to the flag. Great effort getting into the end zone.
Another look.
You see him right here moving, making a little wiggle on him. Right there, Harris buys that inside move. Bill Brooks wide open for the end zone.
And of course, the tough part of that one is that Harris had help inside, but not outside. In his first full year as a starter at corner, replacing Nate Odoms, who was again lost to injury. On first down, Chris Warren for the Seahawks. And Warren, an exceptionally busy day, his 16th carry, stopped by Brown and Washington after a short game.
We got one of the things we're seeing here today in generating points for the Buffalo Bills. They're getting a turnover, and they're making points out of it.
They went 85 yards after the interception by Kurt Schultz, culminating in the touchdown pass. And there's a look at Broussard on the sideline. He's fumbled the last 2 kickoffs for the Seahawks. This one, the Bills weren't able to recover. Gain of 1 on first down, second down 9. Warren again, cutting back and picking his way for maybe a couple before Bruce Smith wrapped him up.
What does it seem like the Buffalo Bills are a little rejuvenated, playing a little bit stronger up front?
Want to see the most recent fumbled kickoff, Bob?
Well, we knew the higher that ball got up into the air with the wind gusting around, these guys are going to have a hard time drawing a beat on it and making the play.
Seattle has converted 3 of 5 third downs. Now on 3rd and 7, Meyer scrambles back behind the line of scrimmage and cannot get away from Bryce Paup. Paup's 6th sack of the season.
Bryce Paup brought in from Green Bay to balance out that defensive rush. And I'll tell you what, very seldom do you see a guy make such an impact so quickly, working up against Howard Ballard, the ex-Buffalo Bill. And all it is just constant pursuit. Working, staying focused on the guy you're going after. Rick Meyer, on the other hand, was kind of lost back there.
Give an assist to Bennett, who hemmed Meyer in and would not let him look upfield toward possible first down yardage. Tootin stands at his 6-yard line. Jeff Burris is the deep receiver for the Bills. Tootin's punt is a low liner. Bounce. Burris from the 25. It's away from the first man and is knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It was Max Strong who was downfield to hem him in for the Seahawks. A 54-yard punt, a 10-yard return. Next Sunday, NBC Sports presents another exciting NFL doubleheader beginning at 12:30 Eastern with the NFL on NBC. Future Hall of Famer Joe Montana, along with Ditka, Gibbs, Gumbel, Rashad, all the gang getting you ready for Week 8 action. And in our early games, most of you will see the Oilers visit Soldier Field to battle Eric Kramer and the Bears. Others will see the Dolphins and the Jets. Late matchups include Broncos and Chiefs, Seahawks against the Chargers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. On first down, Kelly. Plenty of time. Unloads to Brooks again. And Bill Brooks is out to the 48-yard line before Corey Harris makes the stop to pick up the 12 and another Bills first down.
Bill Brooks was working right through the linebacker core as he moved his way across the field. Ended up between Tyrone Stowe and Winston Moss. Wide open in the zone.
Here at Rich Stadium, the 2-minute warning. Bills lead 10-7. Rapidly moving first half at Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Jim Kelly, 11 of 17 for 128 yards in the first half. A touchdown pass of 27 yards to that man, Bill Brooks, filling in for the injured Andre Reed and doing so admirably so far. After completion to Brooks, it's first down, Buffalo at their 48-yard line. Kelly again with a lot of time, and this time he hits Russell Copeland inside the Seattle 40. It'll be another Buffalo first down.
Great play, nice throw, getting it away from the defender. Linebackers right there trying to make a play, but Jim Kelly leaving that ball away from them so the receiver can make the catch.
15-yard pickup that time. Clock runs now as Kelly gives to Thurman Thomas, and Joe Nash makes a big play for the Seahawks. Quickly, let's visit Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, in Kansas City, 10-10 tie until Steve Bono back to work again from 18 yards out. Willie Davis behind the defense in the end zone, and with just under 4 minutes to play in the first half, 17-10 Chiefs.
What a year Bono is having, and thank heavens they got rid of that other quarterback, Reuben Brown, jumping there for the Bills, and that'll cost them 5.
Thank heavens they got rid of that other quarterback.
Yeah, so that we can have him in the studio.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, that was the big question with them. Would Steve Bono be able to step in and cover for Joe Montana? But he has done it. Not only has he gone in and played well, executed everything properly, but he also has turned into another Joe Montana in that he's made a lot of games in comebacks.
Well, plus he's given him that great running threat. You never know when he's going to break out for another 76-yard TD jaunt.
Not often.
Kelly throws down the middle a little bit too high for Lonnie Johnson. That was a dangerous pass. Winston Moss.
Well, of the linebackers out there, the one that you don't want to throw the ball near is going to be Winston Moss. Not only is he a strong run player, but he is a guy that can play one-on-one and really has a good nose for the ball in the passing game.
You think he can catch the ball with those 2 white gloves on?
They're probably a little sticky.
Third down 20. Buffalo 2 of 6 on third down to this point. Kelly's going to get mashed. Brent Williams was there, number 93, and so was number 98, Sam Adams.
Well, Jim, we got to wonder if putting Joe Nash in as the starter not only was to complement Joe Nash's work, but maybe to get a little impetus to get Sam Adams working a little bit. You're going to watch Sam Adams working at the middle of your screen up against Ostrowski, just coming around it, just continually going after Jim Kelly, focused on what his target is. Obviously, you saw when he went there to make the play, he took a swing at the ball. Another defensive line trick.
Let's take a look at Kelly, who limped off the field. We'll check on his condition before we come back. Back at Rich Stadium, and we look at Jim Kelly, who has been apparently testing his right knee. That's the one that was operated on in the offseason. Another look at Sam Adams coming on to Kelly.
Coming on over the top, taking a swipe at the ball, and it's hard to tell. You know, the knee jammed into the turf. Sam Adams also landed on one of his ankles, so he's obviously wants to check it out and make sure that all the joints are working correctly.
The sack eliminated any field goal consideration for the Bills, so Chris Moore punts it away. Joey Galloway watches it as it rolls out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Coming up the half, it is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel will be there along with Mike Ditka and Bob Trumpy, and they'll get you up to date on all the NFL scores and highlights. Also take a close look at the Dolphins' starting quarterback of the moment, Bernie Kosar.
And I tell you what, Bernie is so thrilled. I talked to him during the preseason. He just seems so happy down there. Miami family and everybody's down there. He knows he's going to get an opportunity to play.
On the 24-yard line, Galloway and Blades, two wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Meyer gives on the draw play instead. And Phil Hansen makes the stop on Broussard for the Bills as the clock runs down inside 30 seconds. Broussard in the game at tailback, spelling Warren for the moment as the Seahawks go with their third down alignment. Meyer's throw is off the hands of Galloway, incomplete. Bills have snuffed out Galloway in the first half and kept the Seahawks from making big plays.
Well, in the last couple of games, it really seems like it's taken time for Rick Meyer to really warm up and starting to get accurate here. A lot of people in his face, hard to see the receivers, overthrew both Blades and Galloway, who were pretty much in line with each other on that route.
So it's third down 7 with the football at the 27-yard line and 19 seconds still left in the half. They give to Broussard, who is dropped immediately. And now the Bills elect to stop the clock.
Well, Bryce Pop coming in and making a nice play. You know, it's different in it for the Seattle offensive line is that they're not used to working up against a three-man line. You know, all your blocking combinations end up being different. Instead of the guard being covered by a defensive tackle, all of a sudden he's got a linebacker. He's wide open. You start working different combinations both in the run game and the pass game. They have different keys. They'll have the double read on the center and on the linebacker. And it's something they're just not used to, Jim.
You've played them both. Which defense is tougher against the run, 4-3 or 3-4?
Well, the 3-4 will work if you have linebackers that are going to come up to the line of scrimmage, sell out, and make big plays and shut it down up there. If you don't have a guy that's aggressive and can take that line of scrimmage, you're better off in a four-man front.
Better have a nose tackle who can occupy two blockers, too.
I got a half left in me, Jim.
Rick Tootin deep to kick it away for the Seahawks. And Jeff Burris waits for the Bills at the Seattle 47-yard line. What Burris is saying is if you kick it really short, maybe I'll return it, but if you kick it long, we're not going to mess with it. And the kick goes well over Burris's head and will roll deep into Bills territory. What a boon this will be to Tootin's average. Oh! Downed. Official not yet ruling. Are they going to call it down at the 1, or are they going to call it a touchback? Looks like the preliminary ruling is going to be touchback now. James McKnight was the man downfield to cover it. And on that play, the first half ends. So the Bills get 10 points following Seahawks turnovers to come from behind and take a 10-7 halftime lead here. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back to our studios here in New York, everyone. Along with Mike Ditka and Bob Trumpy, I'm Greg Gumbel. Let's run down scores and highlights for you, beginning with the game at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where the Chiefs have now taken a 24-10 lead on the New England Patriots with about 2 minutes to play in the first half. Bill Parcells going in with 7 new starters today. Shaky first possession for the Patriots. Tight end John Burke, starting in place of Ben Coates, drops the perfect pass from Bledsoe. Off the draw play, Dave Meggett, 16 yards right up the middle for the touchdown. Only the 4th touchdown for New England on 22 possessions inside the 20. Patriots lead 7-3. But Steve Bono goes to work. The fake to Marcus Allen, rolls right, and the 2-yard touchdown run to give the Chiefs a 10-7 lead. 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Bledsoe sacked by Pelham McDaniels. Patriots had to settle for a field goal. Steve Bono, 18 yards to Willie Davis. Chiefs take the lead 17-10. And then the young man who is becoming quite the all-around weapon, Tamarik Vanover. From 27 yards out, Bono to Vanover, touchdown. And at halftime, or approaching the halftime, it is 24-10. Look at the quarterbacks here. Drew Bledsoe, 10 of 14, not a bad first half. Steve Bono, 8 of 16 for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line still is Steve Bono has not yet thrown a touchdown pass this season. 219 pass attempts. Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, you mean Bledsoe. Greg, unfortunately, now you see the enthusiasm for the New England Patriots players kind of waning a little bit. They started out playing well, and then they had the turnover and the 2 successive touchdowns on 2 throws by Steve Bono. Now, this is the tough part of the game for the New England Patriots.
It's the defense is the culprit today,
It's
Mike.
an enactment of Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong because they don't believe anything can go right now.
All right, Mike. Meanwhile, in Indianapolis, the Colts are playing the 49ers tough today. As they approach halftime at Indianapolis, the 49ers lead it by a score of 7-6. Steve Young to Jerry Rice, 5 yards, the only score so far today, a touchdown. At Rich Stadium in Buffalo, the game that you're watching at the break, the Bills are leading Seattle by a 10-7 score. Dennis Erickson and the Seahawks on their first trip into Rich Stadium. Rick Meyer in the second quarter rolls right and finds Steve Smith. This is a 15-yard pickup. And 2 plays later, Chris Warren gets the call up the middle, 3 yards and a touchdown, and Seattle leads it 7-0. But the Bills then capitalized on a turnover. Jim Kelly looks for and finds Bill Brooks. He makes it to the end zone, 28 yards, ties at 7-7. On the kickoff, Steve Broussard will fumble, never quite gets the handle. David White recovers for Buffalo. The turnover gave Steve Christie a chance to convert a 43-yard field goal. Buffalo leads it at halftime 10-7. Chris Warren, 54 yards at the break. Thurman Thomas, after a great week last week, Mike, just 10 carries for 18 yards today.
Well, you know, I'm not going to say Seattle's a great football team, but I think they are a pretty good defensive football team, and I think they're going to play good in this football game, and I think that's what I see. They're shutting them down. They got a good front 7, I think. The front 4 and the linebackers are very good.
Meanwhile, we've been saying Buffalo's back, Buffalo's back. Yeah. Are they back, Trump?
I think so. I think one of the most marvelous things about this football team is just their memory of winning. These guys are not going to go easy. They're not going to go away. They know how to continue to be a threat. They know how to win. And each week they find another way to get it done. I love this football team.
All right, it's 10-7 Buffalo at the break. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, the Packers with a 20-0 lead now on the Detroit Lions approaching halftime at Lambeau Field. In Tampa, the Bucks and the Vikings, it's a 14-3 Tampa Bay lead in the second quarter. At the Meadowlands, the Eagles and the Giants, and Philadelphia with a 14-3 edge on the Giants as they approach halftime. In Jacksonville, the Jaguars and the Chicago Bears are tied at 10 in the second quarter. When we come back, we'll hear from Bernie Kosar of the Dolphins, who starts in place of Dan Marino today in New Orleans. We'll get to that right after this word from the NFL and these messages from your local station.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back, everyone. One of the major developments in the NFL last week took place in Miami. Not only were the Dolphins shocked in overtime by the Colts, but they lost Dan Marino for at least this week due to knee and hip injuries. So Bernie Kosar starts in his place against New Orleans. Phil Simms spoke with Kosar.
Here it is for the win. The Colts, 24 unanswered points, have snapped another unbeaten
something was up this morning when my phone started ringing about 20 to 8, and I didn't answer. I don't answer the phone that early, but the phone kept ringing up to about 10 after 8. So finally, when the whole house was woken up and the kids were screaming and the Barney tapes were on, I started answering it. So a couple of people called and told me that you know, there was rumors that you know, Dan had to have his knee scoped.
So when you heard the news this morning, I mean, and I know you feel sorry for Dan, but all of a sudden did you feel like, oh man, I got to get going?
Well,
it's a short week.
You know, you're right. It's a catch-22 on it. I mean, not only is Dan the starting quarterback and one of the great quarterbacks ever, but he's one of my best friends, and it's, yeah, you want to play. I mean, you know, you want to play and you enjoy it, and you look forward to the challenge of starting. But you're right. You know, I haven't started a game in a while, and it's with being a short week and wanting to get going and look at film. And I told you, out of respect for you, that's why I'm sitting here with you, bro.
You'd already be in there prepared already,
yeah.
Huh? Well, what about this team? I mean, you've played on some good teams. You look at this offense, and I've looked at it. You got to be impressed with a number of good players out there. First off, what about the talent level, and how will that help you this weekend in the game?
Well, playing with talented guys like this is something that really, I think you have to realize that there's a lot of good guys around you. Knowing that I'm not the most physically gifted, the one goal and one of the things I've learned from college were that, you know, you're the quarterback, get the ball in the hands of the real athletes, and that's really true here in Miami.
It's been a while since you started and played regularly. Your new body, I mean, you feel good. Tell me about your physical well-being and how you feel now compared to when you were a starter.
You know, it's funny. A couple of years ago, you know, I had a couple of rough years getting banged around quite a bit. And, you know, this is I think, my 11th year. I'm 31 years old. And it's amazing how good you feel after you go a year and a half without getting pummeled by defensive linemen. So the human body responds well to a little rest and a little weightlifting and working out. And I'm looking forward to the challenge of playing a little bit, and I just want to do the best I can now, and I've been given an opportunity to play, and I want to make the most out of it.
Bernie Kosar. Trump, what caught your ear there?
I heard him say 31 years old. Bernie Kosar can back up Dan Marino for the next 4, 5, or 6 years, and I think the Miami Dolphins are set with starting and backup quarterback. That's the key in that entire piece, Greg.
Mike, the question is, will the Dolphins be okay with Bernie in charge?
I really believe they will, Greg. I think Bernie right now, he's such a high-character individual. He's had his day in the sun. He's been a superstar in the league. I think he understands his role now. I think he'll play out his career as a backup, and a damn good backup.
All right, Mike, and you hate to lose a guy like Marino, but if you're going to lose him, now's the time for Miami. This week and next week, the Saints and the Jets, two teams, a combined 1-10. Our NFL and NBC halftime activities continue.
Jim Lampley along with Bob Golic back in Buffalo, where the Bills took a 10-7 lead over the Seahawks in the second quarter. The key sequence of plays began with this touchdown.
Billy Brooks matched up against Corey Harris. Brooks taking him to the inside. Harris buying it. He's got support inside. Should have stayed outside. Bill Brooks wide open with a nice dive for the pylon.
And then moments after that, the ensuing kickoff fumbled away by Steve Broussard. Recovered by the Bills inside the 20. A gallant defensive effort by the Seahawks forced the field goal try, but Steve Christie hit from 43 yards and made it 10-7 Buffalo. Coors Light halftime stats for Seattle and Buffalo.
But look at this. You're talking about the Buffalo's ball control passing game. They got 127 yards passing. Seattle started off strong with Chris Warren running like about 43, 48 yards in the first quarter, shut down in the second quarter. But the key, 2 turnovers for the Seattle Seahawks, resulting in Buffalo Bills scores.
The Bills are 85 yards after Kurt Schultz's interception, culminating in the touchdown pass from Kelly. Now the kickoff, and Derek Holmes has it across the 30 to the 37-yard line. The looking for Oregon State belted to the turf there. But we're told that Jim is okay now. Doesn't expect to be bothered in the second half.
As we stated, he had had his left knee cleaned out in the offseason. He said he feels much stronger there than even before the surgery. So that's not the problem. The ankle getting kind of squashed.
From the 37-yard line, pretty good field position for the Bills. And Kelly to throw again. First down complete to Bill Brooks. Tyrone Stowe makes the stop, short of the first down. Corey Harris was also there, and you look at a list of the Bills' first half possessions.
But the one thing that you see is the first 4 possessions started way down in their own territory. The first score for the field goal, or the second score, the field goal coming on the turnover, starting off on the Seattle 17. So the one key being they've been able to take advantage of turnovers by the Seattle Seahawks and turn them into points.
4 catches for 59 yards already for Bill Brooks, including the 27-yard TD, but he comes off momentarily, and the Bills go deeper into their receiving core. Thurman Thomas is eventually stopped by Joe Nash. Winston Moss made the initial hit.
See Bill Brooks here finding a spot between the linebackers to make the catch, but taking a big shot to the chest from Corey Harris, dragged down by Tyrone Stowe.
So there's Brooks along the sideline, replaced in the game now by rookie Justin Armour out of Stanford. And this is Derek Holmes, and Holmes is stopped again by Joe Nash.
He just keeps on going, doesn't he? Joe Nash in his 14th year, 35 years old last Thursday. Still going out there. You know, he doesn't fit the typical defensive tackle, nose tackle mold anymore. Over the last 5 years, it's gone from his size to 300 pounds plus.
Yeah, he was pretty good size 14 years ago, and he is dramatically undersized now at 278. Chris Moore to kick it away for Buffalo. Joey Galloway deep to receive for the Seahawks, as the Seahawks defense does its job to start the second half. Galloway with some room as he starts at his 14. And finds his way out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Tim Tyndale was down to make the stop for Buffalo after the 40-yard punt and the 11-yard return. And you look at Seattle's first half possessions.
Right, they started in pretty good field position early on in the game, but not able to get anything going. 41-yard line, you see the third possession starting from their own 41, going for their first score. So they had much better field position early in the game than Buffalo.
To the best in the first half for Meyer, 4 of only 7 passes complete. Chris Warren had 11 carries in the first quarter as the Seahawks made it clear what they'd like to do today, run some clock. Now Meyer comes out throwing on first down here, and it's caught by Galloway. The rookie's first reception of the day as he gets across the 35-yard line. Thomas Smith was there to cover for the Bills.
Well, and the big pass rusher right here, Bruce Smith, making a nice move inside underneath James Atkins, offensive tackle, to get the hit on Meyer after he makes the throw.
Gain of 7 on first down, second down 3 from the 31-yard line. Leads, comes in motion, then goes back. Warren is met and dropped immediately as Kurt Schultz, the free safety, was standing right in Warren's path.
Well, good play up front. You see the line of scrimmage pretty much controlled by the Buffalo defensive line, but Kurt Schultz moving up, making a nice play on Warren, kind of snuck up as motion came across from the other side of the field, stayed up there when the motion went back, went in and made a nice play.
3 wide receivers in the game for the Seahawks on 3rd down and 6. Meyer apparently changing the play. Now throws the slant in and out of the hands of James McKnight. Schultz and Smith were both there, and the Bills prevent a 3rd down conversion for Seattle.
Well, that's usually a high percentage completion play for them, that short slant play, but Smith was all over him. You're going to see him come in. You see here Meyer making sure everybody knows the play. Here's the call. On the right side of your screen, you're going to see the slant come in. Galloway and Smith just all over him.
Seahawks still without 3rd receiver Ricky Prohl, injured in the first game of the year. That means more snaps from scrimmage for people like McKnight. Tootin, who had a long punt at the end of the first half, kicks this one low. Burris decides to let it go, and it goes out of bounds inside the Buffalo 30. At about the 27-yard line. No, they're going to say that it stayed in bounds all the way down to the Buffalo 20. So the Bills will have their second possession after a 50-yard Tootin punt when we come back.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. By Coors Light, shipped cold to preserve the clean taste of the Rockies. Coors Light, tap the Rockies. By United Artists GoldenEye, Bond is back this November. And by Pennzoil, the motor oil that works like liquid ball bearings.
And down the road from Niagara Falls, here in Orchard Park, we bring it back to Rich Stadium. The Bills beginning their second possession of the second half. Leading 10-7 with the football at their 21-yard line. Holmes and Thomas behind Kelly, and the give is to Thurman. Good blocking out in front as he gets across the 25 to about the 26. Corey Harris made the stop for the Seahawks.
Well, here we see why the Buffalo Bills have had such a nice ball control game in the first half. They've really spread the ball around. Andre Reed out, as we said earlier, spread it. Brooks, Copeland, Johnson, Armour, everybody getting into the game.
On second down, Derek Holmes gets a cheer from the crowd as the rookie throws it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line and picks up the Bills' first down. Winston Moss made the stop for the Seahawks.
You know, they really like Derek Holmes because he's a guy that will come in and spell Thurman Thomas. You know, he's still got those halfback moves, but he's 225 pounds, really hits the line a lot harder.
Kelly throws, complete to Lonnie Johnson. And Johnson is close to another first down out of the 40-yard line. 9-yard pickup. It'll be second one. Tyrone Stowe with the stop.
You know, people have made such a big deal about the West Coast offense and the ball control. This K-gun looks suspiciously like that offense.
Seahawks blitzing on second and one. Kelly releases down the middle to Johnson, and big tight end almost had another catch. Terry Wooden, number 90, the strong side linebacker there for Seattle.
You know, once again, they're blitzing Winston Moss from the outside. He's being picked up by the running back every single time. The ball is being released so quickly by Kelly, there's no way that Moss is going to be able to get there in time to make a play. If the guys up front can't get there, Moss isn't going to be able to do it from the outside.
Bills 4 of 9 on third down. Carwell Gardner in the game in a slot. Holmes gets the football from the tailback position and goes across the 45 to the 48 before Eugene Robinson and Tyrone Stowe combined to stop him. But it's a first down for the Bills as they convert on the ground.
Boy, he found a nice little gap there. And, you know, the Seattle Seahawks run that one-gap attack-style defense, which is very aggressive upfield play. The problem there is everybody's got to be where they got to be. One man out of position, and there's going to be an open gap. You saw Holmes hit it there that time.
Kelly fakes to Thomas, has plenty of time down the middle, gets it to Copeland, and Copeland's inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Stowe all the way downfield from middle linebacker to tackle Copeland.
25-yard gain. First down.
Very simple route. You're going to see Copeland come in from the left side of your screen right into the middle over Tyrone Stowe. They kind of suckered Stowe out of position. He was sitting there in the middle looking, trying to hold down the middle zone as one of the receivers crossed from the one side. Copeland came behind him from the other.
24-yard gain on Copeland's fifth catch of the day. Here's Thomas. And Thurman is across the 25 as Terry Wooden comes across to stop him. It'll be second down and about 7.
Well, early in this game, the Buffalo Bills really didn't get any kind of drives going, and thus we saw nothing, no real consistency in their play. Since then, they've really put together a lot of nice drives, mixing in the run game and the ball control pass game. Kind of got Seattle on their heels right now.
Seahawks have been able to limit Buffalo's running gains. Kelly is finding it too simple to hit people down the middle. And here's Billy Brooks again. Eugene Robinson makes the stop.
Now we got Brooks going deep, but what we don't see here, you see Brooks making a little post route there in the middle. What we don't see is Derek Holmes making a nice sitting down in the middle and holding Dean Wells, the middle linebacker, keeping him up short so Wells doesn't drift back in that deeper middle zone, getting in the way of that throw.
The numbers on Brooks as he closes in on a 100-yard day. Gardner and Thomas behind Kelly on first and goal. And Thomas is wrapped up 2 yards short of the goal line. Tyrone Stowe was there, and so was Sam Adams.
Well, the Buffalo Bills in the running game like to run that counter tray OT, bringing the backside guard and tackle around, lead the way for Thurman Thomas. But with the attack style defense,
beats Robert Blackman in the end zone. Kelly telling us yesterday he doesn't quite yet have the chemistry with Johnson that he had with Pete Metzelaars, but it's coming, and coming fast today.
Well, the first touchdown catch of Lonnie Johnson's career, giving the ball to one of his buddies, saying, hey, take this from me. Go set it aside somewhere. I want to get this all painted up real nice, set it on my mantle, something I can talk about for years to come.
And Jim Shockner says to Kelly, you're doing a great job, big guy. Textbook drive for the Bills. Chance to extend the lead here to 17-7 midway through the third. Adam Lingner snaps. Steve Christie boots it out of Steve Tasker's hold. And the Bills stretch the lead to 17-7 as Jim Kelly continues to riddle the Seahawk defense.
Lonnie Johnson's touchdown over the left side of your screen. He's just going to break out, head for the corner, get a step on Robert Blackman. And Johnson has the speed. They like him as a tight end because he can stretch. You see Dennis Erickson's reaction. Oh, these downs set by 10 points now.
Christie's kick is picked up by one of the upmen for the Bills. And they pounded, or for the Seahawks, I should say, and they pounded forward to about the 35-yard line. Chris Green downfield to make the stop for the Bills. And we'll be back in Buffalo. We're at 17-7 Bills. And we're back in Buffalo, where Game 5 is the theme of the day, this being the 5th game ever between the Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. So 2 Game 5s today for the Seattle fans. Here, Buffalo has just taken a 17-7 lead on a 2-yard touchdown pass, Jim Kelly to Lonnie Johnson, and now the Seahawks from their 35, and the first down pass intended for Poirier, incomplete. Henry Jones was looking for the pick.
You know, Jim, this is the problem that the Seattle Seahawks have fallen into for the last few weeks. They start off strong, come out of the box quick. Chris Warren running the ball well. They get behind, they force him to throw the ball, and Rick Meyer takes just a long time right now to settle into a rhythm.
Bills fans doing the wave in the stadium here as the sun breaks over the middle of the field. Meyer sacked. Bryce Paup began his 7th sack of the 1995 season.
As we said before, Bryce Paup right here. You're going to see him making a move on the outside, just coming straight upfield. Almost fooled. He was left so wide open until Chris Warren stepped up. Very aggressive, very strong, great moves up front. What did Bruce Smith say about him?
He said, I knew he was going to be great.
He knew he was going to be a great ball player.
He said something else, which we'll get to eventually. After the sack, Meyer wants to go deep. Galloway is the receiver, and it's picked off by Burris. Second interception of the day for the Bills, and Burris gets it back to the 49-yard line before Chris Warren makes the tackle for Seattle.
Well, Rick Meyer really has a problem inside with pressure. He is not comfortable back there. He starts getting people around him. His feet get real happy. He's not setting his feet. Bruce Smith getting a shot. Burris just going up high above Joey Galloway, almost identical to what Joey Galloway did last week to Albert Lewis of the Raiders, going up high to make the grab. Great play by Burris.
Third Seahawks turnover. On the 2 interceptions by Meyer, he was trying to hit Galloway deep both times. And obviously, the Bills are looking for that. So now first down 10 for Buffalo at their 49. Kelly to Thurman Thomas. And Thomas has a gain of about 9 before Eugene Robinson peels him backward.
Well, Jim Kelly did a little, kind of a short bootleg. Here's a play from last week where Joey Galloway working against Albert Lewis beat him on the outside. Great, look at this. Now watch awareness going up over the top of Lewis, making a great snag and dive for the end zone.
Second and short. Holmes with the football. And Holmes has another Buffalo first down. And again, Robinson makes the stop for Seattle on a 13-yard pickup for Derek Holmes, the 226-pound rookie out of Portland State.
They love this guy. They think he is so exciting. You know, they had started using him as a fullback in a two-back situation, but they like him also as a halfback.
One of 5 products of the draft, contributing right now as rookies with the Bills. They had one of the best drafts in the league this year. Kelly goes just a little outside of Copeland. Incomplete. Crowd wanted an interference call against Carlton Gray. No flag.
Good play by Gray on the outside. They wanted a little bit of interference call, but you know, these guys are going to have to start tightening up on those receivers because Kelly is just killing them with his short throws.
There's John Butler, the man who replaced Bill Polian 2 years ago as general manager of the Bills, and the man who supervised the draft that produced the 5 contributing players. And now Copeland is covered down the middle by Gray, and again the crowd wanted an interference call, and again no flag is forthcoming. It'll be 3rd down 10.
You see it coming from the right side of the screen, makes a nice play on the ball. Now they're questioning where his right arm was, if it was pushing on the back of Copeland. And obviously you can hear the fans reacting. They think it was.
Yeah, because they saw the replay on the stadium scoreboard. 3rd down 10. Kelly and company. Into the end zone. Caught!
Oh.
Bill Brooks again. Second touchdown of the day for Brooks. He beat Raphael Robinson at the flag. And make that one a 30-yard touchdown pass for Kelly to Brooks.
What an incredible throw. Watch the catch here. Brooks working past Gray. Watch him make just a turn, going for that ball. Look at him with the one hand, catching it, pulling into his body. In the middle of 2 coverage guys. What an amazing catch by Bill Brooks.
Filling in for Andre Reed for the next several weeks as Reed recovers from a hamstring injury and hoping to keep the Bills going as they press toward contention in the division. And Christie adds the PAT. Here's the celebration from Kelly after the one-handed touchdown grab by Billy Brooks.
Well, we'd like to say that Bill Brooks just beat Carlton Gray in a foot race, but that may be the case had Bill Brooks caught this in stride. This is all on Bill Brooks and a concentration of being able to go up high, snag the ball with one hand, pull it into his body. Incredible catch.
You can hardly fault Gray. He was there. Brooks just made a tremendous play. Broussard to return the kickoff, and Broussard gets it out to about the 28-yard line. Seattle Seahawks will start from there, now trailing 24-7 as the Bills have gotten 2 third-quarter touchdowns. Fresh Prince in the house Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on NBC. Jay Leno makes a move to prime time as a special guest on the Fresh Prince. Then it'll be an all-new episode of In the House. Great comedy, Fresh Prince and In the House Monday on NBC, beginning at 8 Eastern, 7 Central Time. There are the numbers on Rick Meyer. Both interceptions leading to Buffalo touchdowns.
To say he's having a rough day is an understatement. And Jim, right now, it really seems like with this ball control offense that they have, they're not doing that. They get behind, and they try and make it all back at once by dumping the ball off long to Galloway, hoping he's going to make the play.
In preseason, they cut Bill Brooks, the man in the middle of the screen there, and then re-signed him at a salary $1 million less than what he had been paid prior to that.
Well, that hurts just to hear that. But you know what? His attitude was so cool when we talked to him.
Just tremendous.
He said, you know what? He goes, I understand that they took the pay cut, but he goes, I'm still doing something I love to do.
And he said,
football. And he goes, and still he goes, if I was in the real world with a job, I'm still getting paid a heck of a lot more than I would with my particular job skills. So, you know, he's just grateful to be playing and grateful to be making even $200,000.
An exemplary guy. One of the most solid citizens you can meet in this league. Long stints with the Bengals and the Colts, now contributing with the Bills. On first down for the Seahawks, and you saw Steve Broussard limp off, Chris Warren has the ball, and the Seahawks try to reestablish the run, which worked so well for them in the first quarter, and Warren is across the 30 to about the 32.
And here you have it. This is the story of the game. Right now, the Buffalo Bills are taking the ball away. And when they do it, they're not just getting it, taking field position, they're getting it and getting points.
17 points following turnovers for the Bills. Second down, 7. Meyer to throw. Intended for Blades, and good coverage there by Thomas Smith. Smith, the third-year corner out of North Carolina. High draft choice who was at first regarded as something of a disappointment, but is coming on now.
Now Meyer once again feeling some heat, throwing it into coverage. You know, he's just not, it just doesn't look like Rick Meyer is comfortable back there to the point where he's looking around and finding his other receivers, because that was not an open receiver.
Galloway and Blades both go to the top of the screen on third down, 7. Seahawks 3 of 9 on third downs. Atkins pulled out a little bit quickly. Meyer throws it high and out of bounds, and a flag goes down as Henry Jones, blitzing from strong safety, dumps Meyer after the release.
Well, you knew that they were going to call it. They're looking close at this stuff, especially after some of these quarterbacks getting hurt. You're going to see Henry Jones coming up right through the middle of the line, getting the hit on Meyer, and it's not so much the hit, but he doesn't pull off.
Roughing the passer, number 20, 15 yards, first down.
In this league now, you've got to make an attempt to pull off the quarterback. Getting him wrapped up after the ball was released is one thing, but you've got to pull off. You can't drive him into the turf.
So a break for the Seahawks. Will move it out to the 45-yard line and give Seattle a first down and a third down conversion. Warren goes in motion. Steve Smith, the lone setback behind Meyer. And the throw is caught by Galloway, and he's got open space. They will not catch this guy. Touchdown, Seattle.
Wow.
54-yard touchdown pass, Meyer to Joey Galloway. And this is one of the most remarkable quick strike forces to come into the league in a few years, Bob.
He's going to make the move, just cross it over the middle, just a little short post, going up high and making the grab. But the amazing thing is this guy has amazing speed. There's no way anybody in that secondary is going to get an angle on him.
That's why he was the first receiver picked in the draft. That's why the Seahawks wanted him so badly. That's why, as Jim Kelly told us yesterday,
he sat there watching on draft day going, stay around till pick number 12. Ooh, yeah, we've got to get you.
Come on, Joey. It didn't happen. They got a great one, Reuben Brown, offensive guard instead. Peterson to add the extra point, and it goes through. So with 4:49 still to go in the third quarter, the Seahawks get part of the margin back and now trail 24-14.
We've got Joey Galloway sitting on the outside. Thomas Smith here, respecting his speed, is going to backpedal to here. Galloway's going to break it and break it to the inside. Now when he runs this route, watch this. Thomas Smith really respecting the speed. Galloway taking to the inside. Kurt Schultz, a little of the free safety, over pursuing, allowing that middle to be wide open. Galloway to find an open hole into the end zone.
54-yard touchdown pass. And the Seahawks get back within 10. Short kickoff is picked up by Tim Tyndale, and Tyndale was hit immediately by number 82, James McKnight. Next Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC Sports. Quarterback Ron Paulus and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame renew their longtime rivalry with the Trojans of USC, presented by Champion. That's USC Notre Dame next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time. And as you look at one great receiver, Joey Galloway, first receiver taken in the draft this year. If you have not seen USC's Keyshawn Johnson, you must tune in to USC Notre Dame to see that man who might be the first receiver taken in the next NFL draft. On first down, Jim Kelly gives to Thurman Thomas, and Thomas is wrapped up by Terry Wooden for a loss of about 3.
Well, both guys on that side did a great job. Michael Sinclair got good penetration, forced Thurman Thomas a little bit deep. Wooden coming up to clean up the play.
Call it a loss of 1. Second down, 11. Kelly has thrown with great accuracy today, but he misses that one intended for Derrick Holmes, and it will be third down, 11.
Well, these guys have been rushing straight up front. Watch them with a game now, a 3-man game, end and tackle inside. Cortez coming around. trying to mix it up a little bit, get some penetration, making a play on Jim Kelly. They've got to do that because they're just getting blunted at the line of scrimmage on the straight pass rush.
Cortez Kennedy had a good first half. Brent Williams playing under pressure now because, again, the Seahawks had lost defensive end Antonio Edwards to injury. On 3rd down and 11, Kelly's pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage and falls to the turf well short of the intended receiver, so the Bills will have another punting situation.
Well, they've got that enthusiasm, and Sam Adams is the guy that makes a play here. You're going to see him right in here, coming up on the outside, and he makes a move back to the inside. Then comes up in Jim's face, hands up, like to tell you, but hey, don't jump too high. Those offensive linemen love taking a shot at your open ribs, I tell you.
So now Moore prepares to kick it away, and Joey Galloway is deep for the Seahawks. Moore trying to hang it up. Galloway's going to let it bounce, catches it, fumbles it out of bounds. Seahawks catch a break as the ball went well out of bounds. Steve Tasker was lurking down there and looking for a loose football and another Bills break.
Well, here's a guy who is just, what an amazing ball player he is in special teams. He gets double teamed on these punts, just beats, as a flyer, he just beats both defenders. Watch him, just body awareness, knowing where to be, breaking through, you know, hardly even impeded on his way down, looking to go down and make a play or get a hold of that loose ball.
And there's Tasker coming to the sideline as Seattle starts from its 15-yard line. Blades coming and going. Meyer is going to be dropped inside the 5, and it's Bill Hansen. 5th-year defensive end out of North Dakota State with his with the Bills' 4th sack of the day.
You see Phil Hansen right here on the end is going to make a move. It's a bootleg. Got a blind bootleg there. Hansen not falling for it. They've seen this in all the tapes. They've seen Meyer do this before. Ready for it. Playing kind of laying back on the backside, getting into Meyer's face and making the sack.
Beating Howard House Ballard, the former Buffalo Bill tackle, a high-priced free agent with the Seahawks. Warren with the football, and Warren is met and dropped immediately, and let's credit Hansen one more time as he was there along with Bennett. Bennett had 8 tackles in the first half, Bob.
And Cornelius Bennett, you know, we talked about in the 3-man line, you need a linebacker who's going to attack the line of scrimmage. When Hansen comes in, Bennett just comes up on his linebacker position, reads the open spot, open gap so quickly, and anticipates that that's where that back is going to break. He's got such great awareness of where these backs are going to break that he can fill up and even make the hit in the backfield.
Offensive coordinator's nightmare for Bob Bratkowski of the Seahawks. 3rd down 22 from the 2-yard line. Play clock about to run out. Meyer burns a timeout. And they do credit him with the TO.
Did you see the defense? As they could see that Meyer was having a hard time communicating to his offensive line, the defense had their hands going up, going, louder, louder.
Robert Milliner, Southside Security.
One of the vagaries of playing on the road in the National Football League. Trying to organize your offense in the face of great crowd noise. Watch this.
You're going to see Meyer's going to start moving up and down the line, trying to make sure that amidst all the crowd noise that everybody gets the snap count and the play. Now look at these guys. Hey, whoa, get it louder. You can't hear anything. That's not so much one of those techniques that you learn in training camp or anything, but it pretty much comes very natural.
Hey, he talked to Matt Joyce, the rookie guard, and then he went to Ray Roberts, the tackle. You guys know the snap count? Oh, doesn't matter. We're running out of time. Game 5 of the American League Championship Series coming tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Bob Costas and Bob Uecker will be in the Jake in Cleveland as one team or the other, Indians or Mariners, will take the lead back to Seattle.
Well, being from Cleveland, I got to kind of lead towards the Tribe.
Roberts pulled out early on 3rd and 22. Flags go down, and we'll see which way the penalty goes. Our audience in Washington, Bob, doesn't much want to hear about your Cleveland roots at this moment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize for it.
I'll tell you what, though. I am so impressed with this Mariner team. Randy Johnson is incredible. if the defensive guy jumps, he's allowed to get back.
Nope. And it's going to go against the Bills.
You see in the middle of the screen right there, Bruce Smith.
Neutral zone infraction.
Good call.
Defense.
He was in the neutral zone.
He was in the neutral zone. Although Ray Roberts had already started back into his blocking.
Well, how do you expect me to block Bruce Smith if I can't back up before the snap?
Jim, I think that was a bad call.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, Bruce has an opportunity to get
disagreement
back.
of the year.
What, arm wrestle?
Third down, 17. From the 7. Big penalty because it gave the Seahawks some desperately needed breathing room. Under pressure, Meyer releases, complete to Blades, and Blades is going to get all the way across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Kurt Schultz and Marlon Kerner made the stop. Blades came close to getting the first down.
Well, not bad for a guy who came off a game last week where he just got stoned over the middle, ended up having a concussion and sat out for much of the practices early in the week. You can see the ball drop off to him and him doing it all by himself after that. 4 or 5 Bill defenders trying to drag him down.
Jeff Burris deep to receive for the Bills as Rick Tootin 5 punts, 53.8, including a 73-yarder at the end of the first half. Here's a low drive. And a bounce out of bounds inside the Bills 30 at the 29-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
So call it about a 49-yard punt. Make it 50 if you wish. And Tootin's average won't suffer from that.
It seems, Jim, because most of this because the wind being so strong, a lot of these punts are being kept down. They're kind of driving it, and the receivers, the kickoff punt returners, don't have an opportunity to really read where that ball is going to go. So a lot of them are bouncing because they're being driven as punts. They're going to carry a little bit farther.
First down for the Bills. 1:54 still to go in the third. Kelly flips to Thurman Thomas. And Thomas gets across the 30, back to the original line of scrimmage. Brent Williams made the stop with the catch. Thomas has now caught passes in 42 consecutive games, which ties the franchise record held by Elbert Golden Wheels Dubenian and Andre Reed.
Well, you'd be a fool not to throw it to him, and you know when you do, he's going to get the ball. Good reaction by the Seattle defense, though, in reading that screen.
Golden wheels on second down. Thomas has the football and dives forward for a gain of about 3. Terry Wooden made the stop. Former Syracuse Orangeman having a big day, making tackles all over the field for the Seahawks. Running back comparison between Warren and Thomas, and neither is having an extremely productive day.
Well, both defenses knowing that, telling us ahead of time that it was going to be the run game that they were anticipating.
Kelly against the blitz has an open Lonnie Johnson. Johnson's across midfield. Flags go down as he goes into Seahawks territory, and they finally collar him at the 35-yard line. It took 1, 2, 3, 4 Seahawks to bring him down, and now let's see what the flag is for.
31 yards.
Face mask. You betting face mask over there, Bob?
Looks like.
31-yard gain on the play.
Well, Raphael Robinson came up and blitzed on the same side as Lonnie Johnson had released off the line, leaving that short underneath zone wide open. Lonnie got there, couldn't believe how open he was. He just turned around and took it.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask, number 41, defense. We tacked on to the end of the play, first down.
You see on the right side of your screen, Raphael Robinson coming on the blitz, leaving that short zone wide open for Lonnie Johnson. There should have been an adjustment. A linebacker should have drifted back into that zone to cover for the missing man.
Now the Bills already have one receiver over 100 yards in Brian Blades, or check it, I should say, in Bill Brooks. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York for an update.
All right, Jim, it finally happened at Kansas City. 233 pass attempts this season. Drew Bledsoe's first touchdown pass of the season, 22-yarder to Vincent Brisby. It's 24-19. The Chiefs lead over the Patriots in the third, Jim.
Well, I guess we knew he wasn't going to go the rest of his career without throwing a TD pass. It had to happen sometime.
It had to happen sometime. The man has too much talent. We've seen that for his first couple years in the league. to know that there's no way people were going to shut him down forever.
Carlton Gray may be shut down for the day as he walks off with the Seahawks training staff. Seahawks can ill afford to get any thinner at cornerback, where their entire year is already affected by the loss in preseason for the second consecutive year of former Buffalo Pro Bowler Nate Odoms.
Well, Carlton Gray and Corey Harris have taken the majority of the snaps. Selwyn Jones and Tony Brown have stepped in and made some plays during the early part of the season, but you're right, they can't get any thinner.
And I mentioned Bill Brooks already over 100 yards receiving for the Bills. Now Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, has 7 catches for 74 yards, so he has a good chance too of getting over 100 today. Thomas, nice cutback, gain of about 7. Wooden with another tackle for the Seahawks. Last play of the third quarter, if, as we anticipate, the clock runs. And so it was a quarter in which the Bills got 2 touchdowns. The Seahawks came back with a 54-yard TD pass to Galloway, but Buffalo enters the third with a 24-14 margin. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. A brilliant day so far for Jim Kelly and his Bills offense as they have withstood the loss of Andre Reed to a hamstring injury and come up with big plays to lead 24-14. On first down, or second down, Thurman Thomas pounds down to the 10-yard line, and it will be third down, 1 yard to go from there.
You know, Eugene Robinson told us that one of the problems that they were having defensively was with run support and really kind of shoring down the edges, not letting them get to the perimeter. Well, they're sneaking safeties up late to kind of make sure that nobody gets the perimeter, but they're leaving the middle open.
Bills huddle before third and 1 rather than to go with the no huddle. And here Kelly gives to Thurman Thomas, and Thomas looking to move into the 9-yard line. Got just about that far. I think we may be seeing a measurement here. Michael Sinclair made the stop for the Seahawks.
And that was a nice tackle. Got it right into the chest and drove him back.
Marv Levy yesterday going on at length for us about the organizational principles which have made his Bills so resilient year after year.
He loves the fact with this team that they recruit from within. They feel that there's a sense of continuity and a sense of loyalty to this team instead of going out and grabbing somebody from the outside.
And you saw Levy there saying, go for it, as the Bills protect a 10-point lead and elect not to try to make it 27-14 here, but rather to think in terms of 31. So it will be fourth down with less than a yard to go for the first down, and that's what Buffalo has done in this situation so far this year.
They've got the horses up front that can make some holes.
The middle of the Seattle defensive line, 2 high-priced, ultra-high draft choice tackles, Adams and Kennedy. Now they bring Joe Nash in to play directly over center Kent Hull. The give is to Thomas, and this is iffy. Both sides in a mood to celebrate as they try to convince the officials of their point of view.
Well, they jammed up pretty well at the line in front, but Sinclair came from the outside, got a hold of Thurman's legs and kind of impeded his continued forward motion. So it's all gonna come down to the mark. Now Buffalo shows they got it.
The rookie Reuben Brown is the most ardent first down signaler there. Here's another look.
They have defensive line routing underneath, but Thurman's just too versatile. Has too many things you can do with cutting, with jumping.
And they went behind Hull, who, as you mentioned at the top of the telecast, is one of the better centers in the National Football League.
Not a doubt.
So it's first and goal now, right at the 9-yard line. Thomas looking to cut back, but the hole closed up. Corey Harris came up from corner. Raphael Robinson was there as well. It's a gain of about 2. It'll be second down goal from the 7.
Once again, changing up the run a little bit. Instead of going to the lag draw, the sprint draw that they use a lot of the times with Thurman Thomas, they go with the counter tray OT once again, trying to get some lead blockers in front of them. But that attack defense really doing a nice job of knifing upfield and knocking those blockers off.
fourth quarter. Bills with a 10-point lead. Second and goal. The football's right at the 8, so make it second from the 8. Kennedy bats the pass down as it leaves Kelly's hands, and Tez couldn't quite get to it to try to lumber the remaining 80 yards or so toward the end zone.
I'm telling you, this, you talk about the hardest working man in football right now. Cortez Kennedy has just been all over Jim Kelly, controlling his man in that pass rush up front.
Perhaps Kennedy is a Sporting News subscriber. Maybe he knows someone who subscribes to the Sporting News, which listed him this week on NFL editor Bob Glauber's list of 10 most overrated players in the league. Tez was number 5. Not playing that way today. Third down and goal. Bills are 6 of 14 on third down conversions in the game. Under pressure, Kelly throws, and it is almost caught, but Billy Brooks was separated from the football by Raphael Robinson at the goal line.
And part of that was Terry Wooden making the hit on Jim Kelly, but you can see Brooks just break it over the middle. Raphael Robinson coming up from a safety position and got his hand. I mean, the ball was right there in Brooks' hand, but it was a great play by Raphael. Wooden wide open, making the hit on Kelly, trying to hold on to him, pretend like he's trying to actually hold him up so he doesn't get caught for roughing.
So here comes a Christie try from 26. He missed from 50, made from 43 in the first half, makes from 26 here. And the second field goal of the day for Steve Christie makes it 27-14.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By McDonald's, have you had your break today? And by Liberty Mutual. At Liberty Mutual, we're facing the issues that face our customers.
Sun shines on Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Steve Christie preparing to kick it away, and you can see that the wind affects the teeing of the kickoff. Christie opts for the hand hold there. Steve Broussard, who was injured briefly a quarter ago, is back in to receive this kickoff. And brings it back across the 30, across the 35, all the way across the 40 to the 42-yard line. So good field position for the Seahawks as they start trailing 27-14.
You know, people look at the Buffalo Bills over the last 5 years. Obviously, no playoff last year, but in the 4 previous years, they lost the Super Bowl. And to a lot of people's opinion, hey, the last thing they see is that they're losers. Now, driving up here, I'm looking at this sign outside the stadium in 1990, 91, 92, 93. They are the AFC champions, and that means a huge, it's a big deal.
On first down from the 42, the Seahawks go with the Galloway reverse, and he's got a sliver of daylight as he gets across the 50 into Buffalo territory at the 49. Thomas Smith finally ran him out of bounds.
And Mark Levy very disappointed that he wasn't able to get back in again last year and get a championship. But, you know, Jim, it really is. People's perception is amazing. The team makes it all the way to the Super Bowl, and they lose, and they look at them as losers, where, hey, they are the second best team in the NFL, the AFC champions.
They call it a gain of 8 on first down. Say Galloway was out of bounds just inside Seahawks territory. They give to Chris Warren, and Warren goes near the Buffalo 41 or 42-yard line before Smith is there to hem him in, and that is a Seahawks first down. You know, given the way the Bills were treated by part of the public and many in mass media over the 4-year period when they won the AFC every year, you could consider last year, by some standards, a better year because they didn't get all the ridicule heaped upon them for losing the Super Bowl again. 7-9 was in some ways more comfortable.
I still think they would have liked to have taken a shot at it.
No question. On first down, Myers' pass is batted down by number 92, Ted Washington.
And Ted Washington, another one of the additions up front, one of the best guys at nose tackle league against the run, knocking the ball down. But, you know, that's another change in this Buffalo defense. Over the years, and this Buffalo team, over the years, we've seen this very dominant offense and a couple guys on defense who could play. Now, it's the defense led by this man, Wade Phillips, who is being the dominant part of this team and keeping the offense in the game long enough to get something going.
Phillips had Washington and Denver. He said, I knew he could play in the middle of the 3-4. Pass is complete to Fourier, and the rookie tight end has his first catch of the day. Monty Brown knocks him out of bounds, but Seattle moving briskly now inside the Buffalo 30 and thinking in terms of narrowing 27-14 down to 27-21.
Well, whereas they came out after the last couple of scores by Buffalo and trying to throw the ball long and looking like they want to pick it all up at one time, now it seems like they're going back to more to the ball control, move it down the field a little more slowly.
First down with the crowd rising up in volume to try to affect Meyer's signal calling. The give is to Warren, and Bruce Smith stops him after a gain of a couple. Kelly along the sideline waiting to get the football back. What a day Jim has had.
Wow, Jim Kelly, 21 for 35. Now, you're looking at those numbers, and we've talked about West Coast style offenses. Those are West Coast offense numbers. Ball control. Don't worry about the long game so much. Just move it down the field slowly with the short dump passes.
Second down 9. Meyer pump fakes. Finds Warren, and Warren has a first down inside the 20 before Henry Jones drags him down. It's one of the things that Dennis Erickson was determined to do at the beginning of the season, make Chris Warren a more versatile player, notably a receiver.
Well, they've had him lined up all over the place, from the backfield to the slot. They've had him lined up wide as a wide receiver like there. They just feel that he's got the ability to break free. They like to get mismatches with his strength against maybe cornerbacks, some guys who aren't as strong.
Warren out of the game now. Broussard is the tailback behind Steve Smith. The give is to Broussard, and Broussard picks his way inside, wrapping his arms around the football to protect it. He has a gain of about 1 before Brown and Jones stop him for the Bills.
Now, somehow with Chris Warren at 225 and Broussard at about 200, didn't seem like that was the guy that should have pounded it up the middle. But Chris Warren, looking at him. Now, the one thing you notice about Chris Warren right now is his shoulder pads, believe it or not, are smaller than he's used to. Because of his more expanded role as a receiver, he wanted a little more flexibility to be able to move around and get a hold of some of these passes.
Smart move. Second down 8. Blades in motion. Meyer's got room up the middle and saw his path partially blocked by the official as he tried to wriggle away from Bruce Smith, but Rick Meyer gets it down near the 12-yard line. In fact, inside the 12 to about the 11.
Well, Meyer has a lot of ability. I mean, he's learning now to step up in the pocket when he starts to feel some pressure. He can run with the ball, too, as you see there, but it's taking him, being a young guy, his decisions aren't as quick as they would like them to be right now.
Third down 5 after the gain of 4 on that play. Chris Warren back in the game at tailback. Seahawks in a 2-back set. Now Warren goes in motion. So 2 backs becomes 3 wide. Meyer looking for Warren. Finally throws the ball onto the turf in front of Blades as Sam Rogers was bringing Rick Meyer down.
Well, he thought he had the time, and he was just moving around, like we said, stepping up in the pocket, trying to find a little room. Sam Rogers, just relentless pursuit from the backside.
Flag down, and referee Tom White is going to sort it out. Now, it could be 4th and 5 if the penalty is against the Seahawks and declined. But if it goes against the Bills, then it could give the Seahawks a chance to escape 4th and 5.
Well, he's talking to the Bills about their decision. It looks like about what decision they want to make, accept or decline. So it's got to be against the Seahawks.
Prior to the snap, we have a false start. Number 89, 5 yards. It's still 3rd down. There was no play.
No play. So the Seahawks will get another chance now on 3rd down 10 with the football back at the 16-yard line. Penalty flag was thrown before the snap, as you heard.
A lot of action took place after the snap. For there to be a penalty flag before the snap.
3 wide receivers on the field for the Seahawks. McKnight goes to the top of the screen. Galloway to the bottom. Blades is in the slot. Warren behind Meyer. Meyer wants Galloway, and the pass is broken up at the goal line by Jeff Burris.
Man, Burris has had a big day. He has been there making a lot of big plays all day long.
Jackson with a decision now on 4th down 9, or 4th down 10, I should say, from the 16-yard line. Choice is whether to kick a field goal and try to make it 27-17 or go for it.
They've got to go for it. They've got to get the points right now.
8 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Let's see if Meyer wants to try a hard count. No, instead, he burns a timeout because they were almost out of time on the play clock. So they'll take timeout to talk it over, and we'll bring you back in just a moment.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and have Domino's deliver the ultimate deep dish pizza. Because when it's gotta be deep, it's gotta be Domino's.
We're back into Orchard Park. 8 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Seattle Seahawks trailing 27-14. The drive has reached 4th down 10. Football at the 16. Seahawks need a touchdown and are going to go for the first down here. Poirier in motion. Overthrow. Intended for Galloway.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give that one to Meyer. He threw the ball nicely. Galloway kind of looked like Galloway kind of slipped a little bit on his cut. Meyer throwing the ball a little hot, and you can see Galloway come in. Yeah, well, maybe
Close.
up a little high.
Close. You know, if the ball is 8 inches lower, or if Galloway comes out of the cut a split second faster, then you might have a TD there.
Well, you know,
at the very least a first down.
And the throw and that would-be catch, very similar to the one Galloway made in the third quarter, over the middle, thrown high, and he was able to make the grab.
All is not lost for the Seahawks if they can have a good defensive series here. Holmes running on first down for the Bills. Pretty good open field tackle by Raphael Robinson.
And you're right, Jim. Right now, Seattle has to get that ball back as quickly as possible. Down to about 8 minutes left in the game. They need to get that ball back into Rick Meyer's hand.
Today's attendance here in Rich Stadium, 74,362.
A nice day for football.
Bills tied atop the AFC East with Miami and looking to get to 5 wins, 1 loss. They've got a 13-point lead right now. Second down 5 after the 5-yard pickup on first down by Thurman Thomas. Thomas across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Dean Wells making the stop from middle linebacker for Seattle, and Thurman Thomas a little bit slow to get up.
Once again, the counter tray. Backside lineman pulling to the lead for Thurman, but once again, the Seattle Seahawks really sniffing that play out, making a big play on that one.
Clock running, 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the game.
And Buffalo content with that clock running.
Big situation for the Seahawks defense here. Third down 5. Football at the 21-yard line. Bills need to get it beyond the 26 for a first down. Kelly throwing to the tight end, Lonnie Johnson, and this one Johnson can't hold on to as Terry Wooden was draped all over him. What a day Wooden has had coming back to upstate New York. Not all that close, but within television distance of his Syracuse University stomping grounds.
And, you know, they really have worked with him, as I stated before, working as a pass rusher, getting up. So seeing him being so proficient back in coverage and making some big plays in the passing game, good job.
Joey Galloway lingering dangerously at the 40-yard line as he waits for Chris Moore's punt. We saw the numbers on Moore for the day. Galloway coming up to watch this one bounce. It's right at midfield. It's going to be down at about the Seattle 49-yard line. It'll be excellent field position for the Seahawks when we come back. Jim Lampley and Bob Golic back in Rich Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. Seattle Seahawks get the football back. 6:52 to go, trailing 27-14. It out of bounds. Myers been under pressure much of the day. Sam Rogers and Bryce Pauk are across the line of scrimmage again to harass him.
You know, Jim, last week in Oakland, he was being harassed quite a bit in the first half, and really had happy feet. He was all over the place, very inaccurate with his throws. But the second half, the pressure continued, but he was able to focus. He was learning to step up in the pocket instead of moving horizontally around, and he just really hasn't been able to get into that rhythm. He's not throwing it. His accuracy is way off.
Both Broussard and Warren now in the game for Seattle as Warren splits out into a wide receiver set. Meyer wanted to hit him, but the play was disrupted by Bruce Smith, who came in and put the hit on the Seattle QB franchise. And Seattle's Steve Broussard not happy with Smith.
I bet Smith could take him. You know, as a little running back, you don't want to mess with those big guys. Yeah, Bruce coming pretty clean. Really didn't do anything. It fell at Meyer's legs, but nothing illegal there.
I wonder if Smith might have said something to Broussard about cutting him, blocking him at the legs, and Broussard might have said, hey, that's entirely within my rights. Third down 10.
Do you think
draw play? Big moment for the Buffalo defense as they simply snuff Seattle on this potentially important Seahawk possession. Hansen, Smith, Henry Jones, all of them in there to get at Broussard.
Well, Hansen and those guys up front really set the stage. Henry Jones flying up from his safety position really to knife through that line and make a big play.
We told you about that Sporting News list, which placed Cortez Kennedy among the top 10 overrated players in the league. Bill Hansen was high on the list of underrated players in the NFL in the eyes of Sporting News NFL editor Bob Glauber. Seahawks going for it on 4th down and 13. Myers' pass is caught, and Galloway converts 4th down 13 into a first down for Seattle before Thomas Smith makes the stop.
Well, you know, the last couple of plays has been timing between him and Warren, and they've been off. Here, you're going to see Galloway just turn to the inside, and the ball is right just about there as he turns. Really timed up well between Meyer and Galloway that time.
18-yard gain. Meyer finally getting the football to Galloway again. The rookie had a 54-yard touchdown catch earlier. Again, Meyer completes. This time, Thomas Smith makes the stop on Rob Thomas, number 86.
Good job by Thomas to hold on to the ball because he was hit pretty good from the back.
Thomas, Seattle's number 3 wideout, in the absence of Ricky Prohl, who was injured in the opening game against Kansas City. 2nd down 2 after the gain of 8. Clock goes under 5 minutes remaining in the game. Meyer throws. Thomas again, and Thomas is inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. Don't write the Seahawks off quite yet.
Rob Thomas, a basic route heading for the post down the middle. Got some separation from Thomas Smith. You're going to see him coming in from the left side of your screen. Right there, was able to get away from Thomas Smith, who was running downfield and wide open over the middle.
Seahawks using Thomas Smith at corner on each of the last 3 plays. Now they go to the other side of the field, and Blades gets the football out of bounds against Henry Jones inside the 5 at the 3.
Well, as good a player as Henry Jones is, Brian Blades is that possession guy that you like to have. Still has some speed to get deep, but you're gonna, if you want to pick up the short game, the possession game, you're gonna get it to Brian Blades.
4 good plays in a row by Rick Meyer, operating the new Seahawks offense with precision right now. Now Meyer being sure everybody knows the snap count as the crowd noise rises. Incomplete as he tried to go to Galloway, and the rookie comes up steaming. Burris and Schultz were both there.
Well, Kurt Schultz came in from the inside. He's going to line up against Burris. Schultz is coming in to make the play. Gets there about the same time as the ball. I think Galloway hoping to draw interference, but Schultz timed it up very nicely, making a play on the ball.
Yeah, clean play on the ball by Washington State's Kurt Schultz. He went to Eastern Washington University. Pitch to Warren. A lot of blockers in front. Atkins gets the block, and Warren goes in for the TD. It was all up to James Atkins, number 74, to clear the way in front, and he got just enough of a screen on Smith to get Warren into the end zone.
And boy, he was lumbering out there. You know, he got nice pull. You're going to see Atkins right here pulling around, just leading the way. Cornerbacks coming up. Thomas Smith to make the play. James Atkins, get out of the way. Get out of the way. I mean, Chris Warren is a guy who can power a lot of things by himself, but didn't need to that time with some big lead blocking from James Atkins.
Second touchdown of the day for Warren. Narrows the margin to 27-20. Here's Todd Peterson to try to get the Seahawks within 6. He kicks it out of Junkin's hold, or out of Tootin's hold, I should say. Junkin is the snapper, and it's now 27-21 with 4:17 to go.
Watch on the touchdown, you're going to see Blades coming in motion from the left side of your screen. The defenders sliding over Henry Jones and Thomas Smith, leaving that far side of the field pretty much wide open. Smith trying to get back out to recover. James Atkins leading the way. Nice job of clearing out that side of the field, though, with bringing the motion in, having the defenders have to shift back over to keep man-man coverage on their respective receivers.
9 plays, 62-yard drive, 3-yard touchdown for Warren. Narrows it to 27-21. A momentary victory in the chess battle for Seattle's offensive staff over Buffalo's defensive staff. Derek Holmes with the kickoff, and Holmes gets across the 25 out to about the 30-yard line before James McKnight made the stop. And here comes Kelly, but we don't expect him to be throwing at the outset.
Well, he's going to have to do something that involves ball control, whether it's give it to Thurman, who hasn't necessarily been that effective on the ground today. He's been more effective as a receiver. Jim Kelly dropping it off, but do you really want to let the ball out of anybody's hands, leaving room for a interception or a turnover here at this side of the field?
First down at the 29-yard line. Seahawks bunching at the line of scrimmage. Kelly gives to the rookie Derek Holmes. Holmes with a nice cut, but a good open field tackle by number 30, Corey Harris. And here comes Holmes off the field, momentarily dinged up, looking as though the right knee got hit hard.
Well, Seattle's trying to move everybody up on the line of scrimmage. The problem with that is, to really block it up, get a lot of guys up on the line. The problem there is, if the running back's able to bust through that first line, he's got a little bit of room until the safeties can come up and make a play.
Replacing Holmes, number 35, Carwell Gardner. Good blocker, not as explosive a runner. Second down, 7. There's Gardner, and just as I tell you he's not an explosive runner, they make a hole for him, and he bursts out to midfield before Eugene Robinson makes the stop. 17-yard gain for Carwell Gardner.
Now, watch Cortez Kennedy making a move to the outside there instead of jamming his guy straight up. Left that middle wide open for Gardner just to power it through.
Seahawks did not expect the Bills to give the fullback the football on that play. They were thinking Thomas all the way. Now Derek Holmes comes back into the game. Holmes in the tailback position. Thomas up as a halfback. Here's Holmes. And he's met and dropped. Raphael Robinson there. Dean Wells is there as well. Flag on the play.
Counter tray OT, and it looked like Reuben Brown was going to get called for holding on Terry Wooden.
And there's Tom White with the preliminary holding call.
Or at least Wooden stood up and was pointing at him. Reuben Brown kind of looking.
Holding. Number 79. Offense. 10 yards. Still first down.
First call against the rookie today.
Well, Reuben Brown is going to be pulling. You're going to see him right there pulling around. Wooden gets penetration, and he just kind of corrals him a little bit. Gets him by the neck and by the seat of the pants, pulls him down to the ground, knowing that it's that penetration which has been blowing up that play.
So after the mark-off, it's first down 20 with the football at the 39-yard line. They give to Derek Holmes. And here it becomes critical that the Seahawks had to burn 2 timeouts already in this half because of play clock shortages.
Granted, have they been able to get the ball back or force them into a punting situation before the 2-minute warning, it wouldn't have been an issue. But now if Buffalo was able to keep it going, take it past the 2-minute warning, then that timeout situation is going to be coming into play.
And here the Seahawks have used their last one with 2:28 to go. Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. The Buffalo Bills trying to get to 5-1 and continue their unexpected early season surge toward the top of the AFC East. Here protecting a 27-21 lead over the Seattle Seahawks with 2:28 left to play. Seahawks have just used their last timeout. Bills, after a holding penalty and a 3-yard gain, have second down 17 at their 42. Rookie Derek Holmes with the football, and Holmes gets past the first tackler before Raphael Robinson and Dean Wells are there to bring him down.
Well, they're trying to keep the ball on the ground and keep it inbounds. Again, the counter tray, just trying to stretch that defense out, let Derek Holmes, whoever's the running back at the time, find a little gap, and hopefully they can pop it through that front line.
No hurry up here as the Bills allow this to roll down to the 2-minute warning. And so now Jim Kelly will come over to confer with the offensive staff of the Bills. 2 minutes to go, 27-21. The man clapping his hands in the foreground is defensive secondary coach Dave Brown of the Seahawks. Behind him with the jacket on, with the hood behind his helmet, is starting QB Rick Meyer, hoping for one more shot with the football. As the Seahawks prepare to defend 3rd down 9 for Buffalo. Ball at the 50-yard line.
Huge play.
It's a must stop for Seattle here. Give is to Thurman Thomas. And Thomas is wrestled down by Cortez Kennedy as Tez earns his keep by making the key stop there.
Well, almost a bad decision. They blitzed on the far side of the field, brought the safety up, bringing them off the outside. They counter trade this way. But the mobility of the interior lineman, you're going to see in Cortez Kennedy right here, making a nice move, reacting off the block by John Fina, coming back and getting in and making a nice stop. Hey, you get into Cortez's clutches, you're not going much farther.
If today is a barometer, the overrated label doesn't stick for Cortez Kennedy. He's had a big day here in Rich Stadium. Chris Moore to punt it away. Joey Galloway lets it go. It goes into the end zone, so the Seahawks have a simple equation. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. After a 46-yard Moore punt, they have 80 yards to go to win the football game.
80 yards, and Rick Meyer has Brian Blades and Joey Galloway, who he has used many, many times in the big games. But Buffalo this time is really going to be playing for that.
Well, it becomes clear here in the second half that Galloway is emerging as the Seahawks' go-to receiver, despite the dependability of Blades. Now Wade Phillips, last year a head coach in Denver, this year doing a whale of a job as defensive coordinator in Buffalo, and his #1 ranked pass defense in the league about to be put to the test one last time by Rick Meyer and the Hawks. Good protection. Dropped by Blades. Would have been about a 25-yard gain.
You know, the Buffalo Bills are trying to go with a little bit of a quicker rush. They've got Hansen in. They've got Jim Jeffcoat coming off the outside. They've moved Pop to the inside as a down man.
6 defensive backs in the game for the Bills. Pop lining up at left defensive end. Now Smith flipped over there, and they momentarily lost Bruce Smith, and he almost got to Meyer. And Blades was again the intended receiver. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, like I said, they're going with a little bit quicker up front by putting Pop down on the line. They've got Hansen, Jeffcoat, a game between Jeffcoat and Bruce Smith. A little game there, and Smith comes through and makes a hit on Meyer as he releases it.
That normally would have been Pop's side of the field, so obviously Smith, who has the option of lining up anywhere he wants, spotted something and said, let me go here this time. It almost resulted in a sack. 3rd down 10. Meyer wants Galloway. Now throws underneath the Fourier, and it goes through his hands. Marlon Kerner, the nickelback, was there to defend for Buffalo.
Jim, so many times we've come down on Rick Meyer because he hasn't been hitting his receiver. Well, not so the case on this drive. He has got the ball to his receiver on every single play. and they just haven't pulled it in.
He made 2 perfect throws on 1st and 3rd downs. Blades and Fourier, both dependable receivers most of the time, didn't hold on. Well, the last Seahawks touchdown proceeded from a 4th down conversion. Now on 4th down 10, Meyer throws, and Galloway again has the catch to convert it into a 1st down. Burris stops Galloway across the 35 at the 36.
Well, no timeouts left. They've got to get back in the line. Buffalo taking their time back to their side of the field.
Buffalo better account for number 84. Meyer throws, and McKnight makes the catch this time.
What a catch!
Schultz and Smith with the stop. No timeouts for the Seahawks. They burned 2 of them because of play clock problems. Meyer stops it with 20 seconds to go. Flag down. Well, if you're looking for hope for the future for Dennis Erickson and his young Seahawks, they've seen it on the last 2 plays. Big catches by the rookie Joey Galloway, and then the first-year player, James McKnight. Here's Galloway's catch.
And, Jim, you said it yourself. He's turning out to be the go-to guy right there, pulling it up nicely next to Blades, right underneath the deep man. Nice catch by Joey Galloway. The next catch by McKnight, equally, even more impressive from an athletic standpoint.
Flag was for an offsides call against Bruce Smith. That moves it to the 40-yard line. 1st down 5 for the Seahawks here. The intended receiver. Meyer's pass goes all the way out of the end zone. 13 seconds left. Jeffcoat was the man in to put pressure on Meyer.
Well, put that one on Jeffcoat. He was laying that one up to go deep to Galloway. Jeffcoat right there on the right side of your screen, making a move. He's going to come in late, getting a hit on Meyer, but he really had to loft it. He felt Jim Jeffcoat coming in. He had to loft that ball up, taking it out of the end zone.
Seahawks have done a good job controlling Jeffcoat today. They've had a lot more trouble with Bruce Smith and Bryce Pump. 2nd down 5, football at the 40, 13 seconds left. Pump fake Meyer, gets away from a Bill, looks in the end zone and throws it. It could be intercepted, out of bounds. 4 seconds left. Seahawks will have one more shot. Evans couldn't keep his feet flat in the end zone.
Rick is not right now the guy that can be flustered in the backfield. You can see there the foot, the toes out of the sidelines. Meyer once again being chased, trying to throwing off his back foot. Knows that Cornelius Bennett is coming into his face, just trying to get the ball off.
So here's the football game. Bills win. 2nd interception of the season for Thomas Smith. Clock goes to 0. Buffalo holds on in Orchard Park. A valiant effort by Seattle falls short.
Well, a very good job by Buffalo, but I'm telling you, Jim, the Seattle Seahawks have proved that they can play against a lot of the better teams in this league. They have nothing, you want to get the wins, you want to have the good record, but I'll tell you what, they've got to take something away from this game.
The difference in the game, big plays by Jim Kelly, Bill Brooks, and Lonnie Johnson. In the absence of star receiver Andre Reed, Buffalo gets it done in the passing game. Seattle able to stop Thurman Thomas, not able to control Jim Kelly. So move the Bills to 5-1. And look out Miami, look out the rest of the AFC East. The 4-time AFC champion Bills are back and not ready to go quietly. So, coming up, Greg Gumbel from New York with a wrap-up of what has happened so far in the National Football League today. For Bob Golic, I'm Jim Lampley. So long.